Yo, 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 what it do was popping. It's the undeniable, reliable, and the one and only Trigger Trey Night. And I'm bringing these chairs to your city.
And this your boy Blackout Jones. Nah, I'm not the historian tonight. I'm the chairman. Let's go.
And this your boy, Mr. 211. Remember, that is my drink of choice, not my weight. And I don't have no chairs for y'all yet.
This is Dr. Shaw, and I had a dream, but y'all about messed that up. Tell him, Carlito.
And y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Carlito the Cannon.
Cannon.
And I represent one half of the double dose of knowledge, 1/4 of the illustrious Iconics, and 66 2/3 of the Carolina Wrestling Cartel. Y'all already know I got one ready for you because the cannon stays locked and loaded. And you now listening to the Beyond the Bell podcast. What's going on, fellas?
What it do?
Another day, another dollar.
Exactly.
Feeling great, feeling good.
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you? Man, listen, this has been a week.
Man.
Not just in the professional wrestling world, not just in the sports entertainment circles, but man, this has been a week.
Hey, look, almost everything was wrestling related this week.
Almost everything. I mean, my man's was. We had a couple of home runs getting hit out in Montgomery, boy. I'm telling you, man.
A couple of bangers.
He had a double, a triple. He almost hit for the cycle.
He almost hit for the cycle, but I know one thing, bro. Shout out to Aquaman for making an appearance. I'm sorry, Aquaman.
Aquaman.
Man.
Hey, a.k.a. SEAC murder.
Oh,
Yes.
And we are gonna talk about, bro. Listen, we got to talk about Cinco de Negro. You know,
He got one more. He got one more. Michael
got one
Evans Phillips.
no, we got another one. No, we got the
Michael
whole thing. We
Evans
had the
Phelps.
Avengers. We had the Avengers show
the
up.
Avengers.
The
Because my man was swinging that chair like Thor's hammer. That's all I'm gonna say.
so had the
You saw
Wakanda
those
forever.
Barons out there?
Dog, listen,
You know what I'm saying? He been retired for a minute, lost a little bit of that swole,
just a little bit,
found himself in
Oh,
Alabama.
yeah,
Said,
man,
"Got it."
punk, man.
man.
Swinging.
Listen. Whew.
That's what
All
I
right,
thought.
y'all. Second week, second episode, second time we bringing that fire content to the hashtag real fans.
Hashtag.
Welcome, y'all. This week we're gonna be covering a lot because we can. SummerSlam, gotta talk about it. Some major ups, some major downs. I was kind of left. I don't want to say wanting more,
Let it
but
straight.
I did not feel fulfilled from SummerSlam this year. Unfortunately, this was the first SummerSlam in a while. Walking, especially after we went last year, and being fifth row, being on TV all night. Shout out if you haven't seen it, go watch SummerSlam 2022. You'll see us ringside all night,
All night long.
all
Catching the
night
vibes.
long, all
All
night.
night.
You will see us. But this year, the highs were high. The high, I mean, of course, the peak being we got a cash in.
Hey.
We got a money in the bank cash in that took place, and
Successful.
That's my
Successful.
stuff.
this is one of the first times I think the win before the cash in threw me so much that I was not thinking about a cash in possibility.
Right.
Bianca Belair winning the WWE Women's World Championship.
Did not see it coming.
Wow. Did not see that coming.
But you know what? We have to also think about these cash ins.
Mhm.
Almost every cash in, somebody had a knee injury.
A knee, an
Last
ankle,
year,
An ankle, a
so
knee.
Ronda and Liv.
Ronda,
Alberto
you had,
Del Rio.
Randy,
That's the first one that came to mind.
Bobby got cashed in
Bobby.
on Big E with the leg. So is that kind of an indicator? Or is that
Somewhat.
something we should be
Only-
looking for?
The only indicator that didn't have to do anything with the knee or ankle was when Edge got powerbombed by Batista and CM Punk came in there and cashed.
Right.
Man. Oh well, and RVD.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
cashed
Well,
in.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and you know what? Let's just, instead of saying a knee or leg, let's say an injury, because
An injury, okay.
Jericho was hurt when Swagger cashed in, but it was ribs. He was taped.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's when if that Swagger came in and hit him with the gut wrench.
Boo.
They're never just tired.
No. Have we had so Cena was exhausted after New Year's Revolution. He was bleeding, but he was exhausted. Like he
Yeah.
couldn't even get up to
You
get
can count the
clear.
blood as an injury.
As an injury. Okay.
Closest I'm thinking of is when Baron Corbin tried it with what's his face, but he got interrupted by somebody.
By Cena.
Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cena, and then he just hit him, and then that was it.
And that was
Yeah.
it. Sandow cashed in a match. He lost, but he cashed in an actual match. A lot of people
Yeah.
forget his cash.
Well, RBD did the same.
Yeah, RB did the same.
Yeah.
Seth, WrestleMania did. So we'll say about 75%, 80% is injury related. The
Give
other
or take.
portions,
It's more match, just flow of matches.
just flow of matches. But Bianca, shout out to Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE, the EST of sports entertainment, the EST of professional wrestling, the EST of the industry that we all love. She's the best, the strongest, the toughest, the fastest, the roughest, the meanest, the quickest. She is her. If Carmelo Hayes is him, Bianca Belair is her, because she sold that knee injury like she got shot.
Hey, screaming, yelling, hooting and hollering. I said, please, Lord, don't let this be. I said, I know she ain't hurt. It can't be.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I thought that was an injury. I really did. I thought she was out.
And for her to have us feel that way, you did your job.
Right.
You did your job.
And then to come back and
win
the match. I'm like, but then that's what set it up so perfectly, is that nobody saw it coming. Like D was saying, they sucked you in, and
shock value of the
win.
EO was the last person on my mind. I can't speak for everybody, but I did not see EO. I did not see it coming.
Look, when that music has hit, when that thing dropped, I said, acting on the live, we was lit. We was like, oh my gosh, this is really happening.
Cash in. Was there any doubt, or was there any fear that she was going to cash in and lose?
No.
I think Trips is. I think Trips is so high on her, and I think everybody else is high on her. She deserved it, and I'm thankful that Bianca gave her that moment and allowed it to happen.
Absolutely,
so, respect to Bianca for that.
And when you really look at it, like if we look at the whole picture, we were there for SummerSlam last year. And remember, she made her debut against who? Bianca.
Long-term booking.
Understand
something, fans. When we allow things to happen organically and stop trying to rush to something, that microwave popcorn generation thinking, a year ago, EO got called up, made her debut at the exact same event where she won her first main roster world title. That is long-term booking at its finest.
Right.
Shout out, and also I'd be remiss, shout out to Charlotte for taking that miss, because Asuka blasted her with that miss.
In the face.
I mean, there was no neck. It was all, she got hit with the money shot. Yeah, I mean,
took it right in them out. Just
that was coming to America in the face. That's the only thing I thought of.
A great match. It started slow. It started a little slow, but when it picked up, and it did not fall back off.
Well,
no, it didn't.
Well, I would say this on that end too, is that I think sometimes with ring psychology, everybody is putting on a great match. They intertwined well together, and I think some of the botches that happen. It was just because I feel as if sometimes that can throw you off, especially with crowd engagement. Crowd was just dead that match. And we even talked about it on Instagram under Cody's post. Like, Detroit really dropped the ball on that match. And I mean, especially throughout the night as well. Like that match should have been like
Detroit dropped the bomb in terms of the American WWE universe as a crowd. This was our chance as a crowd in our territory to show, hey, we can have just as hot a crowd as
Puerto Rico,
Backlash, as a Clash at the Castle. We can deliver a Money in the Bank crowd, and Detroit just fell flat.
They started off hot. Now they started off hot.
They started hot for the Ricochet and Logan Paul, which was actually a really good showing.
That was a good one.
We have to. Let me not say we, because I do my best to try and speak for myself. In terms of my opinion and my train of thought, I'm noticing a lot of Logan Paul hate. He was on a top 10 list for top wrestlers under 30, and there was a lot of backlash for it. I agree with him being on that list.
For sure.
There are not many under 30 talents that can talk the way he can talk, that has a media presence the way he has it, and can deliver his style of wrestling. Is he a technician? No. Is he a powerhouse? No. But he is God-gifted athletic.
Could we say that Logan Paul could be this even though I don't know if they're that far apart in age, but could we say Logan Paul is this generation's Miz in regards to social media, with Miz being real, what was it, Road Rules, Real World, and and
wow,
already having that pedigree of, hey, I'm already been in the limelight. I know how to deal with this. You know what I mean?
So now the pairing, the initial WrestleMania tag team pairing makes all the sense in the world now.
Right.
Yeah.
It makes
bringing that mega stardom. And I'm like, hey,
stardom. You know, because I don't know if you guys watched the Jake Paul Netflix documentary, but it chronicles
everything. Yeah.
Everything that they went through, the early days of the you know, a couple thousand followers into the hundreds of thousands of followers, into the millions of followers, into sponsorships, into Jake Paul's amateur and pseudo professional, being a boxing enthusiast and a professional former amateur fighter. He's still not a professional boxer to me.
No.
But his career in his exhibitions, hey, I got to give it to him, because we got to be honest. The Pauls are where they are because they don't say anything they can't back up.
Right.
They have never come out, and that's the one beautiful thing about them. Jake Paul, I'm a salute to, because he has been going at Dana White for years about increasing UFC fighter pay, giving them benefits. He's fighting UFC fighters, bringing them in and getting them bigger paydays than their actual UFC contracts.
And that's real.
You got to give it up for him for that, you know, and he's winning too. I mean, hey, he's winning, you know.
But he's also putting money in your pockets.
But he's putting money in these guys' pocket.
And you can also say, outside of that, just what the Paul brothers are doing, these big money paydays. Like I said, outside of Floyd Money Mayweather, we already know Mayweather is going to bring you a payday. But outside of that, besides Pacquiao and Tyson, like all these other guys, you know, you have these social media stars that came into the boxing industry, into the entertainment industry, and they are a draw. And they are going to get you your top paydays, no matter what.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz, he definitely got a great payday out.
Oh no, that's probably his biggest payday, like out of that contract. Shout out to Draw. We're gonna come back to this, but shout out to Dirty Dom, the Draw.
Listen,
Dirty Dominic Mysterio. We're gonna come back to you, my guy, because at this point, he's becoming a pillar. And it's beautiful to see, because now this is third, fourth generation now.
He the reason Buddy put a ring on.
Oh, absolutely. Buddy proposed because of Dom.
Buddy
he
said,
had to let y'all know.
I ain't playing around no more.
He had to let y'all know.
The people were sick in them comments, dog.
They really were.
No, you're lying.
I don't know why.
Comments were
I stay away
atrocious.
from it.
I
Stay away from it.
They were like, "Where is Dom? It should have been Dom." I said, "Bro, y'all got to chill out. Y'all got to chill, bro."
I
like,
mean, hey, listen. Like I said,
they're doing their job.
Yeah,
they're doing their job. Dom's getting heat in the ring, out of the ring, on socials. Dom is a draw, and he's a heat magnet.
Right.
Yeah.
And here's what we forget. Real quick. Dominic got engaged like 3-4 months ago.
Dog, nobody's talking about that.
Nobody's
even talking about the fact that he has a lady.
Dominic girlfriend, fiance, I'm sorry.
Because
ain't nobody worried about her. But Buddy put a ring on it. They just said what Dom got to say about it.
Because it's Dirty Dom and Mommy. I mean, you know, no disrespect to the future Mrs. Mysterio, but it's Dirty Dom and Mommy.
Right. Like,
hey,
it's draw.
Doing your job.
Right.
Doing your job.
They make it look great. At first, when we looked at the pairing, it was like, I wonder where they're going.
Really?
I wonder where is this going?
Because we all pulled for Dom just to go to NXT and just flat out just be down there and train. But now Dom's getting NXT reps, but now and once again, like we talked about last week, this is not black and gold NXT. Dom is too big for white and gold NXT now. Dom, his name and his presence carry too much magnetism to be an NXT guy. Now, I love that he's bringing eyes to that championship after shout out to Wesley, what Wesley did with it.
Did his thing with that.
And now they're getting viewers. This was the highest viewership since April of what, Sharon?
2021.
2 years.
So I think it was if I'm not mistaken, it was like 750.
771 or 776.
Yeah.
You know, almost 800,000 people watching developmental.
and it was great.
And it was great.
And I like how they incorporate him on each show, which
yes, absolutely,
the drawing
each
power.
show, main eventing, each show, you know,
SummerSlam,
big
even though he didn't
segment.
wrestle, even
He didn't
though he didn't wrestle,
SummerSlam.
he came out and he showed a product, which that Seth and that Finn match just.
You know who did wrestle at SummerSlam though, and we were talking about his opponent. Ricochet showed up and showed out. Shout out to Ricochet getting some shine on an opening, because I remember, and I'm glad I was false in my thinking that the opening match of a pay-per-view is just kind of like no. In our generation and today especially, if you're the opener, you are what sets the tone for the entire card. If your opening match falls flat, it's hard to get fans back, especially in a market like Detroit.
Right.
If it's Chicago, if it's the Carolinas, if it's Brooklyn or anything like that, you can get some reprieve. But falling flat in a debut match, in an opening match, especially at a Big Four, hurts. Yeah. They delivered. Shout out to Ricochet. Shout out to Logan Paul's character work, getting in Samantha and getting her pulled into the match and having her have to announce him as the winner, which, once again, like I said, they don't say anything that they can't back up.
Great heel work.
He said he was going to win it, and he also said him and his brother were going to go back-to-back. Logan opens the show, gets a dub at a Big Four pay-per-view, leaves, and we got to remember, he's now 2-0 at SummerSlam. Leaves.
SummerSlam?
Yeah, no, and we need to have a SummerSlam conversation, because we know who is being hailed as Mr. SummerSlam right now, but we're also short-sighted thinking for a second. We're gonna touch on that. But he left, went in and cornered for his brother Jake. Jake won the fight. The Pauls, they doing big things. Speaking of big things, the next big thing, the Conqueror, the Beast Incarnate, Mr. Suplex City, Mr. NCAA champion, Mr. former UFC champion, Mr. former IWGP champion, Mr. Diverticulitis.
Seemed like he fell asleep and had a American Nightmare.
He had an American Nightmare.
I'm hilarious, y'all know it.
And we saw a dream. If there was ever a moment, and I don't know if you guys watching have watched Cody's documentary. This documentary is reminiscent of the former WWE 3-disc volume set DVDs, where the whole disc, the first disc is all story, second is matches, and third is. This is the best documentary Peacock's done, but this is arguably a top 10 not even. You know what? I'm gonna stand on it. A top 5 all-time WWE documentary, all time.
I'm with it.
Cody, I find myself pausing because I'm trying to think of a way to give it justice. The moment we witnessed of Brock Lesnar taking a clean pin, after he beat the absolute hell out of Cody, it got to a point where it was uncomfortable. Stay down, Cody.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, well, Michael Cole said it's time to worry out here.
It's time to start worrying now.
Well, even when you start begging and pleading, Michael Cole is begging and pleading Cody. Hey, stay down. Don't go back in there.
Cody's selling it, but Michael Cole is selling it and giving you the change on top of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cody wins, and it's almost weird to think that I'm not going to focus on the win itself, because it's a major win over who is being hailed as Mr. SummerSlam. Because realistically, if we're looking at Brock's resume for SummerSlam, it's a who's who.
Right.
You got Kurt, you got Dwayne, you got Trips, you got Cena. Never forget the Cena beatdown.
Yeah.
You know, you got Roman as an opponent. Sorry, T, what'd you say?
So what was that? The Cena one, the 16 suplexes?
Yeah, 16, 17 Germans, and 4 F5s. Something we never thought we'd see. Brock is Mr. SummerSlam. After the match, and congratulations to both guys. If we know if Brock respects you, Brock is going to sell for you like no other.
Of course.
Right.
After the match, Brock takes the gloves off. ultimate sign of respect. If you've ever been in a fight game, ultimate sign of respect, because you can always fist bump and that's the end of it. But Brock takes the gloves off, walks up to Cody. They lean in with the head, and I see the slight headbutt, but it's not a jab. It's a, you really did your thing. He acknowledged Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
The handshake was the envelope licking, but the hug and the hand raise was closing the envelope right in the address, the destination, the return address, and putting 2 stamps in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was going to kill Cody.
I mean,
Yeah, we thought another F5 was coming.
Yeah.
Sure.
We saw Kurt Angle do it to Brock at WrestleMania 21. I'm sorry, WrestleMania 19. I apologize. And it was a signifying moment, because it was like, well, Brock really is the next big thing. Cody Rhodes is approaching face of the company territory.
You don't think he there already though?
Roman is the
Yeah.
face. When I say
Not yet.
if I give you a title, I mean undisputed. You know, Roman is the face of WWE.
The marquee face.
The marquee face. He's the one. He's doing Conan O'Brien in the Tonight Show. Yeah, Cody will do a couple of guest appearances.
That's what I'm saying. Cody was on the Today Show the same week that Roman was on First Take.
Same week, but First Take. How many of our guys have been on First Take?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And had Stephen A. just salivating.
Yeah.
Like treating him
lightweight.
like God.
He was lightweight thirsty.
I mean, like treating them, and of course, because they deserve this, but treating them like the absolute superstars they are. Cody is getting there. I mean, do we think that Cody could already handle those media appearances? Absolutely. Not even a question. My guy already had a TV show on one of the biggest syndicated networks in the country. That's not where we are right now with WWE, because we understand it is a different monster and the same beast. Shout out to Kobe Bryant. I'm wearing Kobe tonight. Y'all, I just want y'all to know I'm going to take a quick segue. Food poisoning so bad. Had Beyonce tickets for the lady, and we didn't even go last night. So sick. I mean, crawling to the living room to come in and be with y'all tonight. Hashtag real fans. I was not going to miss this episode. Hashtag real fans. I wasn't going to miss the episode because I'm sick, because like I said, we're here to bring it to y'all, but I'm rocking the Mamba because I had to find the Mamba mentality tonight. This isn't my Jordan flu game. This ain't it, because, you know, he had food poison. They tried to kill Mike. But this is they tried to kill Mike with some bad pizza, man. Come on, dog.
Carmelo said, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do. But I'm here with y'all. Cody is, have we seen an ascent? And like I said last week, some predictability is okay. But have we seen an ascent this predictable that's been filled with as many surprising moments as the Cody story has, taking it back to his return, his debut? Cody was never going to come in and be an NXT champ or a tag team champ with somebody. So debuting, marquee match with Mania, after, and of course now we know Vince flies to his house to come get him, you know. The pec tear. Do y'all remember the collective silence that was deafening of the audience when he took the jacket off?
Yes. The whole joke went Usher, ooh.
And then and he still delivered a 5-star match.
Right.
The return at the Rumble, which was predictable, we knew, but we did not know him and Gunther were going to go that 10-15 minutes and give us that absolute classic Royal Rumble performance. Then we get to the Sammy ascent and fans rooting and chanting for Sammy to be the one to dethrone Roman, kind of making Cody feel like Miz during the Cena and Rock thing. Cody's kind of now taking a back seat, even though it's his season. Roman wins, and now, oh man, it should have been Sammy the whole time leading up into WrestleMania. Yeah. And WrestleMania comes. You said what?
Say either that or the triple threat idea that people were throwing out.
The triple threat, throw Sammy in the match,
right?
Even though the Royal Rumble winner just came back from an injury and won, but whatever. Hey, short-sightedness. We prefer long-term booking, but
I look
What
at it
you
like this, and I'm gonna finally give Cody some praise.
Wait a minute.
Really?
breaking news. Breaking
Wait a
news.
minute. Episode 2, 26 minutes and 15 seconds. I got to make sure we bookmark this moment because if you are a hashtag real fan, if you are a member of Wrestling's Real Fan Chop Shop on Facebook, go like, follow, join the group. If you are a fan of Blackout Jones, if you are an iconic fan, you know that this man does not offer any type. And when I say any type, does not offer
None.
a smidgen of love
None.
for Cody.
Specific shout out to Ashley Jones right now.
Shout out Ashley Jones. We gotta have her on here one day so we can get
shout out, sis. Shout out.
Hey, you know what?
And
You know what y'all
Clay-
gotta do? Y'all got to do better.
Woo! We
Yes,
gotta do better,
we
bro.
do.
I'm sorry. We got to do better. We got
So,
to do better.
I'm gonna give him praise, and I'm gonna throw something out there and see if it touches everyone's soul here. So, we talk about Brock giving the love to Cody, right?
Yes.
We talk about the documentary, and shout out to AEW for letting that footage, giving that footage away, and also the other organizations, Ring of Honor. I look at it like this with Brock. When you look at that documentary, it's like, man, he bet on himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a time where we didn't know where Cody was going to go. We didn't know if he was going to continue to wrestle or he was going to quit, hang it up, or we didn't know. But he went to New Japan, linked up with the Bullet Club, linked up with the Elite. You know what I'm saying? He did great things in Ring of Honor. World champion, and not too many people know though. But I got Impact. I got a video with Cody where we both say F the Revival. You know what I'm saying? So
FTR.
it was
Shout out to Defiant. We can't give, if we're gonna give Cody's journey, we got to give Cody's journey. Shout out to Defiant. Shout out to what was my other UK?
Did he go to Rev Pro?
Yes, Rev Pro. Thank you.
Yeah,
Rev Pro. Shout out to Rev Pro.
Okay,
Cody did everything.
When I look at everything, and when he first came, he always talked about finishing the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say at WrestleMania 39 wasn't the beginning of his story?
That was the beginning,
right,
of
and
his
that
story.
WrestleMania 40 will be finishing the story.
After a Brock Lesnar salute like this, especially after the Roman loss, because we have to remember how surprised some people were with the Roman loss, and then the Brock turning, they're just giving Cody something to do. No, they weren't. This was a story upon itself.
Yeah.
Cody has earned the respect of, you might as well say, one of the leaders of this generation. And we can even say last generation, the PG era, everything, because Brock's name holds, you can't even say weight. Brock's name holds a certain type of value that an Andre the Giant did. A Hulk Hogan. When you see his name there,
yeah,
you're going to tune in, you're going to watch, you're gonna wonder,
what is he finna do?
What is he about to do?
Yeah.
And then Cody gets the first dub. And then Brock gets the second one. And now we're already in August for a story that started back in May. It's already been 3 months.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you
and
want
it
to
doesn't even feel like it.
If we want to look at it as a story and we want to look at it as an actual book, then
right,
when from the moment he came in to the moment that he fought Roman, we can call that the preface.
Okay.
And then from that point on, we can start from chapter 1, and from that point moving forward, we got all these other chapters at the point where WrestleMania 40 is going to be the end of the chapter, and that's going to be his story. That's going to be finished. It's going to be done. He will be undisputed world heavyweight champion.
Woo! You heard it here.
And I'm saying that
Jones.
right now. Right now, I'm saying Cody Rhodes will be undisputed world heavyweight champion at WrestleMania 40.
And I'm gonna piggyback off that. You know what's gonna happen that Monday Night Raw. The new story begins.
It begins.
Oh yeah,
It began.
Who knows what that finish is gonna be? But that's where the new story begins. I will bet $5 right now that he says that. If he don't say it, I'm gonna give every one of y'all $5.
Well, he
Oh,
has
okay.
to say it.
Look,
I
I'm
mean,
down
oh,
for
man.
5. I'm down for 5.
Oh, man.
I mean, one of the hashtags back in the day or taglines, I'm sorry, for WrestleMania is where it all begins again. Used to be one of the main taglines, and I definitely agree with you, Black, that Cody's ascent started at WrestleMania. He was already where the American Nightmare debuted from WrestleMania to the following WrestleMania. Yeah, he was more over the following year. We got to remember the Cody countdown. I know y'all remember the countdown at the bottom on Raw with you know at 8:57. We got 3 minutes left till we see Cody at the top of the hour. Y'all are doing a countdown for this man. Cody came in as a superstar, but Cody is now a megastar.
Yeah.
Speaking of megastars, the megastar, L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to do it. I didn't want to do it.
The new Mr. Slim Jim, you might as well say, because after the Battle Royal, we got a Macho Man, Bianca Belair, and L.A. Knight Slim Jim commercial.
We did. On cue.
Let me talk to you. Were we afraid he was going to lose that Battle Royal?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say no. I mean, there's possibility that there could have been something, but like hard down, like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna win. I think as far as such a big sponsorship and somebody being able to talk, somebody to be able to bring viewers and individuals to that platform, that's money all day. I mean, yeah, I would say Grayson Waller, you know, up and coming new guy, could have used the rub, wanted maybe some sponsorship, but I think L.A.
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal possible winner, Grayson Waller at Mania.
They gotta make that mean something again, though.
They have to. So in my opinion, that match, there's a perfect possibility there. I remember back when every time you won something like that, it came with something. When you won King of the Ring, you were next in line to main event SummerSlam.
Yeah, exactly.
The Rumble, WrestleMania. Money in the Bank pretty much is a precursor to your next push. I feel like with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, let's make that the number one contender and guarantee them a slot at SummerSlam against your mid-card champ. Because the guys who've been winning it are not guys who are on the upward. You know, Jay won it, but Jay won it, what, 2 years ago now?
Something like that. I don't know.
But when Cesaro won it, nobody believed he was going to win a world title after that.
No.
When Baron Corbin won it, no. I mean, Corbin is one of those names where you can always say where they could have done something, where they should have done something, they didn't. Matt Hardy, when Matt Hardy won it, Matt Hardy's not going to win the world title at that point in his career. So if you're going to give it to guys who are not in the booking strategy plans as a main event, let's give them that next step underneath then. Let's have them a guaranteed slot at SummerSlam against your Intercontinental Champion or against your U.S. Champion. Give them something to do so that way. And even if you want to have to, I mean, it's a little cheese, but even if they have to cash in the trophy to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Lashley just won it. And now the biggest story about Lashley is the Street Profits.
Yeah, he gave Angelo Dawkins a new suit. Like,
and a haircut with some accents that
thing was fresh.
Woo. Look,
I think when it comes down to it is just the fact of making it meaningful, but not just throwing together just sponsorship raving events just to be like a one-off. But in a sense, the sponsorship also plays into the storyline with him being the guy. Him, like I said, we see how it's going into the story with Miz, which we'll get into that. But as far as LA Knight, he knows what he can do. He's been doing it for years. He's not a rookie.
2 decades.
He's not anybody that's not up and privy with the game. Like, he's already know what he has to do. And to my opinion, he's not that old to where he can't win a world title.
No,
maybe he can. Maybe he can get like 1 or 2 and do something with it. But we just have to see down the line, and that also plays into the situation with Roman, the situation with Cody. How is the Seth situation going to go? How are the world title changes going to go? and who's all going to get their shine, who's not going to be complaining or whatnot. But overall, Battle Royal shocked me. It was good. I liked the time that everybody got, especially Chad Gable. They gave Karrion Kross a very kind of lengthy time in the ring, which really these last couple of times he's been in the ring, as far as Battle Royals, he's been probably like one of the first ones out. Karrion got some good time. Grayson Waller got some good time. Miz, we saw Omos return and have a somewhat of a big show out of what he did as far as a big man. Didn't really see it coming. Didn't care for it at all, really. But it added that Andre the Giant feel like, oh, we got a big giant, big.
We got
man.
a big bat. We got a giant in the Battle Royal.
Dangerous. Yeah. We got a dangerous person in this Battle Royal. We got to get out. And I think that was something that pulled some contrary, and I appreciated them for that. But them boys showed out. Them boys showed up, and they did their thing. Yeah. Can't wait to see what's next.
With LA Knight's age, the beautiful thing is we've seen an LA Knight before. We have seen an organic guy who has paid almost 2 decades of dues to get to a point to where he's world champion based off of the sweat of his brow and the strength of his back. And that's Diamond Dallas Page.
Yes.
DDP did not win his first world title until after 40. And the beautiful thing about LA Knight, I think it was like 45.
No. He was 35 when he started.
When he started, he was 35. Well,
when he started wrestling,
he started wrestling. He'd been managing for about 10 years.
Right. Yeah.
But the beautiful thing about LA Knight, that a lot of guys who paid the amount of dues that he paid can't say or don't. He has not been one of those guys to take 2,000, 3,000 hardcore through table spot bumps off the aprons, mega huge bumps that are going to limit his bump counter and have his injuries. Of course, he's been hurt. If you're a professional wrestler, you're going to get hurt. Yeah. But he has not been a guy who has lost a significant amount of time due to his in-ring style, which isn't safe by any means. He's great with his presence and his timing. He's one of those guys that knows in a match where to put something and why to put it there versus just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks. But his spots are very precise, and he doesn't overdo them. He's not Jeff Hardy. He's not Matt Hardy. He's not a guy who's been through so much damage that at this point in his career, he's not a Rob Van Dam, where the movement is noticeably different. He's not that guy. He's still athletic. That damn Shelton Benjamin leap to the top rope to throw Sheamus off, that is impressive for a guy his age.
What is he, 40 years old?
I'm thinking he's got to be 30, near there.
He's about to
historian? Where you at?
I'm not the historian today.
He's not the historian today. He's the chairman. LA Knight is 40. I hope I can move that well at 40.
Yeah, I can't do it at 35.
I'm not able to do that right now, and I'm 34.
There's a lot of guys in their 40s in WWE that's really moving. Bobby,
AJ. Priest. Well, I don't think Priest is in his 40s. He's in his late 30s, but Priest.
Yeah, Priest. AJ still moving like
if Bobby Roode comes back, Bobby is one of those names.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is, especially with the time of what they're saying that injury was. And, we've seen a couple reports saying he's been backstage working as a possible agent, which would be great because he's a great storyteller in ring.
Right.
But LA Knight winning the Battle Royal, beautiful moment. For all the fans who say they're not doing anything with him, they made that match for him. That was his moment. That was his match on the card for them to get him there. So, and a lot of fans have to realize they're giving him promo time. They're giving him screen time weekly. No, he's not having a match every week against a big name because there's no time and no plans just for that in the scope of everything right now. When you start throwing guys in the ring just for the sake of it, you end up now. You might have some great moments like, Ricochet versus Cesaro, which should have been for like a world television title back then, or those classic matches Andrade had with Rey Mysterio on Raw, which were meaningless. There was no feud progressed. There was nothing. You don't want to put LA Knight in that position just to be showcased with no plan.
They
Because
tried to
three
win
years-
this black match.
They tried that with the pitch black match, and then you saw the recoil and the response from the fans just to have him on the card against a big name, and you saw what happened. And I'm thankful that he pulled
Big
himself
name
up.
was the one that wound up being
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
was like, yeah, well, you know,
He pulled himself up from that. So I definitely got to salute and shout out our boy LA Knight for winning the Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal. Let's say Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royal 5 times fast. My mouth got wet saying that.
I got nothing.
I ain't got it. But look, I was like, come on, don't drool over here now.
I can't wait for my drink of choice to sponsor the SummerSlam Battle Royal.
I hear that. Look, I hear that. Hey, listen, if they want to sponsor the podcast, hey, 211, you know. Hey,
holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy, Mr. 211 out here.
Exactly. Man is still _ BTB on the Instagram.
Go follow my guy.
Get the drop. Get the drop.
Get the
I'm
drop.
get the drop.
Get the strap. Time for one of the downs, and it's probably the biggest down on the card. First of all, it should have been a fight pit match. There's no reason why y'all are having this match contested inside the squared circle. No reason. This was the time, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Even if you don't go fight pit, which you should have, bring back the Lion's Den.
Yeah.
Wasn't that somebody else?
No. That was the dungeon match with Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock.
But Owen Hart was in the match that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it was Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock, and woo, that bro, he was putting heads through ceilings and stuff. Like it was.
You are not lying.
It was wild. But
did I? Oh, go ahead.
No, you good, Black. What's going on, bro?
Did I hear? I keep hearing that one of the stipulations of that match there was supposed to be no interference.
No, that was the last match that we got to talk about. The last one. That was the stipulation that got changed. Apparently, we'll touch on that in a second.
Okay.
But Shayna and Ronda, I feel bad for Shayna because Shayna deserved a much better response than what she got. She should not be punished by that Detroit crowd that we were talking about for Ronda and her not. I don't want to say they weren't able to deliver, but it's not what we were looking for. They were supposed to give us an MMA rules fight, a fight. How do you fight like that inside the squared circle? Yeah. You know, even Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle in TNA, they had the cage match, but they took the ropes down. Yeah. Do something that makes this feel like it's an actual MMA program against two names that are polarizing. You got Ronda Rousey, who is the biggest women's, fighter in the world at one point, still arguably holds that type of weight name-wise. And you got Shayna Baszler, who is and this is where, Black, since you are not the historian tonight, I'm going to be the historian tonight. A lot of people think Shayna Baszler came through fighting and then went straight to NXT.
No. I could be the historian on that one.
You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
World Wonder Ring Stardom, Shayna Baszler. Independent Circle, Shayna Baszler. Wrestling in QPG. She was able to pick up the way she was because she cut her teeth in the indies. She debuted at Ring of Honor 13th anniversary show with Red Dragon. With Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish.
Yes.
Starting her career.
Yes.
A lot of people do not understand her journey. She was in Absolute Intense Wrestling, and she fought Mia Yim there. Like, there are so many. Oh man, gosh, listen. Shayna has been wrestling where she's coming up on 10 years. Wrestling after her MMA career, which she was still doing on the side in Elite XC and stuff. Shayna does not get the respect that she is entitled to when it comes to where she is in the business and what she brings to the business. Shayna Baszler, they love to talk about an element of realism. Shayna, that promo with her and Ronda was real.
Yeah.
When Shayna was talking about paying her dues, Shayna was paying her dues. So I hate
about Ronda's second run. because it was like obviously it wasn't as good as the first.
No,
but
absolutely not.
The second one came off the heels of her. I don't know if it was a work shoot or a real shoot or whatever, but she used to talk mess about wrestling and about the fans and all
wrestling and the fans.
So she wasn't going to come into a good situation. She was not wanted. You know what I'm saying? So everything she did
wasn't missed. So she was missed in terms of the division because she was a huge name, but fans didn't really miss Ronda.
That's what I'm saying.
Not the first, not on this run.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm just like, when you say Shayna doesn't deserve the backlash of the match, you're 100% correct. Because did Ronda tap out or did she pass out? I can't remember. So
that was a pass out. She passed out.
She passed out. You see what I'm saying? That's sort of a protected finish.
It's another protected finish.
You
like
she got Ronda to tap out. If Ronda showed up Friday, they just be like, "Hey, you tapped out.
You tapped out. You tapped out. Nah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But back to the point. Yeah, Shayna is she deserves the respect that we trying to give her. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it could be because of the opponent too.
I just really think it's because of Ronda.
Because of the opponent.
Like
You know what I mean?
I was happy when they did the tag team angle because I've been trying to holler for them being tag champs for like 2 years now. If they were gonna have a set of champs that could bring some legitimacy to them cursed belts, it would have been them two. They could have ran through that division, but if you hold them straps, dog,
you're getting hurt. You're getting hurt. It's like being on the Madden cover.
Yeah, it's the Madden curse all over again. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Hashtag it right now. WWE Tag Team Women's Curse.
Curse.
Tag team
curse.
That way, can't nobody in the internet world get it from us.
Since birth, I've been cursed to just cursed, and since the birth of them titles, people have just been cursed to be cursed by injuries, future endeavors. Like there's not a good history there. The match itself should not have been a match. It should have been a fight. They even had like a moment where they were throwing fists. It looked protected. Like we know who y'all are. Y'all were supposed to, in essence, take the gloves off of them and let them do what they're gonna do. Because Shayna's one of the toughest individuals in the company. Ronda, no matter whether you like her or not, she's a judo world champion. Anybody thinking they can handle Ronda Rousey? Black. What if they think they can handle Ronda Rousey? What you gonna tell them they need to do?
You got to do better.
Gots to do better. Hashtag gots to do better. But that was the low point of the pay-per-view. That comes after the Battle Royal, which sucks because the fans were so hot for LA. You get a break, but it's not the break you want. Because you wanted, if you're an actual fan, you want Shayna to get that ascent moment. After that match, though, you get Gunther and Drew McIntyre. Big meaty men slapping meat.
Big meaty men slapping meat.
There's some people going into that match who thought Drew was going to win. I don't see how you thought that with Gunther being this close to breaking. So understand something. Before Gunther, the Honky Tonk Man Intercontinental record was almost like Kareem's record. You never really thought you was going to see anybody beat it. Well, actually, you know what? Excuse me. I apologize for that. Because Kareem's record is still Bruno Sammartino's 4,000, whatever, how many days. Like, we'll never see that. But in essence of a record that you never thought would be beat by one talent, you know, they gave Jericho 9 runs, and he's not even, his cumulative runs are close to Honky Tonk's 1 run, which actually wasn't even supposed to be a run. That his Intercontinental title reign was not supposed to happen.
Was it out of necessity or something?
No. So, and I hate saying it in the way of, it was almost fate. It was almost destiny that it happens this way, but you hate that it happens this way to other talents because during that time, okay.
You got
Shout out to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat before we get into shout out to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat before we go down this path of talking about it, because I understand.
Give it to him. He did. Yeah.
I understand. I understand. I let me rephrase that. I sympathize. I don't have children yet, so I can't say I understand. I don't have kids. Ricky's Intercontinental Champion in '87. His wife is about to have a baby. His wife is about to have a baby, and he asks for time off. They don't like you asking for time off. That's not... You don't do that when you're touring, especially back during that era, because it was like you're not on TV every week. I guess they felt like when we need you to show up, we just need you to show up and that's it. They decided to drop the title on the Honky Tonk Man just because Ricky the Dragon Steamboat wants time off to go be with his wife who's about to give birth to their child.
Yeah.
It's not really necessarily fair for him, because who's not going to ask for that time off? Maternal and paternally, I believe that everybody should get that. Right. So, unfortunately for him, he loses that. And in a later episode, maybe, when we speak with him, we can talk about how even when he came back after his UWF and his WCW run, they basically wiped this stretch of his career out.
Right.
And make it seem like he was just a brand new superstar and all that. But Honky Tonk Man was not supposed to have that belt. So the fact that he had it as long as he did before he dropped it to Warrior, and the fact that purposely this time you got a guy like Gunther putting on absolute banger
after banger
after banger
after banger
after banger with everybody he is in the ring with. It doesn't matter if you are a luchador. It don't matter if you a cruiserweight. It don't matter if you a light heavyweight, if you a technician, if you're a brawler, if you are, it doesn't matter. Gunther is having matches out here with guys. I've seen some criticism of his matches online that I can't believe. All he is chops. Go take one. Go take a Gunther chop. If you've never been live to hear a Gunther chop, just shh. Because understand something. That man is trying to chop your chest off your chest.
He is
bleeding internally.
Yeah.
Internal. You remember when Jim Ross used to talk about your solar plexus?
Yeah.
He's trying to snatch your soul.
You're trying to make your heart skip a beat. Oh, my bad. I mean to say that.
It's okay.
It's okay. Oh, my bad.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
We'll get into that another day.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Wow. Not the heart joke though, Black. Come on. You know what? I'm gonna steal your catchphrase.
The Heartbreak Kid, boy.
Black, you got to do better.
I do.
You're
right. I do.
But Gunther and Drew McIntyre, banger. Just a fight. What you expect from British strong style wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther is going to break the reign. I'm fine with him holding that belt the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I'm also fine with Drew winning the belt after he breaks it. I'm fine with Ilya Dragunov getting called up and taking the... There's so many different paths you can go with Gunther, because there's a real chance that now that the Beast Incarnate's gone away, the rumor swirling of Gunther versus Lesnar at Mania could possibly happen. And imagine a motivated, rested, focused Brock Lesnar in a ring with the Ring General.
Ta-da-ta-da.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
Get it all.
Now, look, cash in hand.
Cash in your hand.
Sheesh. Apparently Drew still has not re-signed.
Yeah.
Nope.
Drew is apparently not gonna. Ooh, I sounded country when I said that one. Boy.
Drew's not going to.
Apparently, Drew is apparently not re-signing unless he can get some type of, I don't want to say a guarantee, but he wants. It feels like the timing is perfect now. Drew wants storyline times like Roman and the Bloodline, and then you got Sheamus doing interviews right behind him saying the exact same thing. There's other wrestlers here that can, so it's almost in essence like they're politicking for Drew to stay. you got to realize, not everybody can get 30-minute segments. It just doesn't happen that way. Not everybody.
No.
Not saying that everybody's not deserving, because everybody up there puts in the work. The women, tag teams, everybody. But with this being the number one storyline in professional wrestling today, and possibly an all-time storyline, everybody can't get that time, especially on a SmackDown that's 2 hours, runtime 2 hours, advertising, you looking at about an hour, 17 minutes, 30 minutes off of that. Everybody can't get that time. So for Drew, if Drew's leaving, if Drew leaves this time, I'm almost afraid he doesn't come back, like ever. Because this is that time where Drew left, built his name up, did everything he could, came back, won the WWE Championship twice. Had classic matches at WrestleMania. That triple threat was a classic. There's nothing else left for him except being a world champ or being a face of the company guy and getting his moment in front of fans that he was robbed of due to COVID.
Yeah, true.
But there's so much talent there right now that all have earned. I don't want to say deserve, because apparently, talking to some wrestlers, they don't like when we chant "you deserve it." Some do, some don't, but have earned the right to main event WrestleMania or be world champ. LA Knight, one of those guys. Merchandise, promo battle, in ring, he's one of those guys. Seth deserves a long run, even though he's a better chaser than he is a champion. Damn. Finn deserves some type of something. AJ Styles,
he got to get it. Damian
Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank, and Damian Priest is one of those guys that we never thought Punishment Martinez would be in competition for a WWE championship, not a mid-card belt, but an actual championship. Wow. Yeah. And if you don't understand the Punishment Martinez reference, type it in on YouTube. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Let me look up Punishment Martinez.
Yeah, go, but there's a lot of Ring of Honor. Yes, Punishment Martinez, Ring of Honor. Bad makeup, kind of
heavier,
kind of chubby. Yeah, heavy.
All about the Archer. What is it?
The Archer.
Now that I missed that entrance. That was a
hard
entrance.
I do, and it took a turn once he started being two-faced or getting the
I didn't like. Okay, wait. Did you like the demon wing and the angel wing?
No.
I was wondering why they took that. Was that supposed to be our view into the future of Judgment Day?
I really don't think it was. I think they were
trying to throw some shit at the wall.
And it really was not sticking. I felt like they should have stuck with the Archer and Infamy because it was doing what it needed to do, but also it really captivated on the screen. Like Damian is really a contender. He was showing out, United States champion, putting on a clinic. Look, he had a good run. And then once it started changing, I was like, well, how do you feel like he's going to bounce back from it? And Judgment Day came up. And at first I was like, he got to get better on this mic because he kind of sounded a little cringy on the mic, kind of.
Yeah, he was, bro.
For a while, I was like,
they let him start throwing his Spanish in there, and it just sounds a lot better. I don't know what he's saying.
He had to slow down a little bit because he started stuttering a little bit. I'm like, hey man, slowly roll, get your promo.
So are we approaching the Damian Priest breaking away from Judgment Day? Because that next match, Seth and Finn, one of their better matches. I just have not seen the match that I feel like they can deliver. Their Undertaker Shawn Michaels match, their Okada Omega, like they have not given me one of those, and I'm just wondering. I feel like they're capable of it because Seth is capable of wrestling one of these Ritz crackers right here, and I'm gonna be captivated. I'm like, wow, he can shout out to Ritz crackers, product placement.
You don't think that was a SummerSlam joint years ago?
No. So it was cool, but that was that stretch where Finn's in ring had to change from NXT Finn immediately to main roster Finn, so we didn't get the full caliber of IWGP Prince Devitt, NXT Finn Balor. Like we got WWE Finn Balor in that match against Seth, who
warm up WWE Finn.
It's wild to me that Seth has come as far as he has in ring. And when I say that, Seth has never been bad in ring. Seth has always been a phenomenal talent you know, but seeing his presence, how he calls the matches, and his storytelling in ring, which I already thought was top tier, is now top tier. He's still uberly athletic, but he's toned it down, and you can appreciate it because he's slowed down now.
The injury messed him up, man.
That injury, man, that knee. Listen, man, that knee. And then when Joe put him in the coquina clutch and hit the knee, I was just like,
Man, what? Again.
I'm like, Joe. Joe is a menace.
Yeah.
So shout out to Samoa Joe. He's an absolute menace.
Straight menace.
But I just don't feel like they have had that match yet. Like that.
Well,
but to be fair, I don't really recall. Like, what's Finn Balor's best match in WWE?
Probably some in that second run in NXT.
Well, I think it was the NXT. I think one of his either second or first runs in NXT.
Okay.
I think his NXT work was just like grind, grit, nitty gritty. Prince coming from New Japan and getting that, like, I have to establish a new me and be WWE me, but also I got that thing on me. I can shoot this thing
on me. I'm nice with the blam blams.
Hey, I'm nice with it. I'm pulling them triggers. Pow, pow. Nice matches.
Everybody catching these fresh skippity pads.
And I think he brought that fresh layer, but as over time, I think it's like, well, how do you book them, especially on the main roster? And then, I mean, then injuries come into play. And for a while, I really fell off of Finn because it's just like
I thought Finn was gonna get future Endeavor. I was worried about that. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I was like,
the Prince run reinvigorated his career. The Prince run in NXT,
because I was interested. You know,
yeah,
and I know I'm 4 out of 4 on my fandom with you 3.
Mm-hmm.
But that when he like took off the jacket and then
hit Johnny with that Pele kick.
I was like this at my TV. I was like, let me see what he doing.
And I think that's set up for Karrion too, just with that setup between them. It's like it can be a hit or miss, but I felt like it really pushed him into that stratosphere. Like, all right, well, it's coming to an end on this realm, passing of the torch, and let's see if he can change that gear back to the main roster side and see where it goes. But then we know that.
Speaking passing of the torch, we got to talk about the match that never was. COVID robbed us of Gunther versus Finn Balor in NXT UK. That was supposed to be the match. That was gonna be Finn's best match. That was gonna be that. It was gonna be like that.
Boy, hefty Gunther, hefty chops, hefty.
And they would have been overseas doing it too, because Finn was going to travel over. Man, that was gonna be a fight. There was gonna be some fisticuffs.
How would you say about Finn and Samoa?
Finn and Joe had a good stretch in the first run in NXT. Now they had a good stretch. They had a really good stretch. That's probably his stretch of best matches. Yeah. No, you know what? I take that back. AJ Styles, was it Survivor Series when it was supposed to be the Finn versus Sister Abigail, and AJ came in and that's probably Finn's best WWE match. That's probably his best. I mean, but to be fair, it's AJ Styles. It's AJ Styles.
The phenomenal one.
It's AJ Styles. You know what I mean?
Phenomenal for a reason.
For a reason.
You know, he got my birthday tattooed on.
Oh wow.
You know, D got shirts. You know, he got shirts on top of shirts.
But it's his birthday tattooed on another wrestler. I'm just saying.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is.
That's a guy that can have a match.
Children, I figured that out.
But I would say this. I would say to your part on. To me, that's probably one of his better matches with Seth. Was this iteration?
This one, it was one of the better ones.
Yes, because I felt like the spots, the storytelling within it, and then I mean, you adding the atmosphere of the Judgment Day into it. You could say like the 7 that was dope. Bringing that in to like see his downfall. Like, hey man, this is really bothering me.
The story element of this feud has been great. The story element's been great, and that's what
outside of the bloodline. Outside of bloodline.
Yeah. Judge, like I said, we said it last week. Outside of bloodline, Judgment Day is your next over everything in the company.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hate to see it go if it goes because they can pull a swerve.
So are we teasing Damian Priest breaking up? Well, not breaking up, but breaking away and bringing in JD McDonough?
It's either that or Finn goes create something with JD. I don't know. It can go either way.
I'm okay with that. Breaking away from Judgment Day, leaving it to be Damian, Dom, and Rhea.
But then,
I'm okay with that.
I think who said it? Who said it? They said technically, or Judgment
There's
Day
no
doesn't
leader.
have a leader.
Triple H said that Judgment, anybody in there can be the leader except for Dom.
Right. So it's
shout out to Dom and Shawn Michaels. The interaction in NXT last week. Your dad should have spanked your ass when you was a kid.
Yeah.
Great interaction by HB Shizzle.
I'm never against that.
Never against that. Damian is starting to teeter on that precipice. He's getting support from the vocal section of the IWC.
Well, because the main thing is, I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help you in these matches. You're taking it as I'm trying to turn on you, but really, shoot, I'm trying to help you win. And every single time you have failed to capitalize and win the chip. Like I tried to give you the briefcase.
Because on the Monday before SummerSlam, last Monday, they had Seth laid out in the ring and Judgment Day posing. If Damian really wanted to cash in, that was the moment.
Right.
Finn's not seeing it short-sighted. Finn's being short-sighted. He's so focused on bringing that title. And I don't even know if it's more so about the strap right now versus the 7 years. Like, I don't know which is more important to him.
That's what I was going to say. Because it seems like the personal vendetta is bigger than Judgment Day.
Right.
And that's where you lose it. That's where you lose your whole squad like that.
And you see it happen.
That's what Priest's problem is.
But
you taking this a little too personal, like right here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to help you get this belt for the betterment of Judgment Day. You just trying to get it for you, and then that's how Priest end up at the end of the ring like this.
But I can see his side of it too, because when you look at it, and when you look at the scheme of things, we know Damian's not going after Roman. We can shut that down. We already see it. We already know that. So within your mind, you have to think at any time that I have this championship belt within this time frame, is he going to cash in on me or not? I don't plan on losing this belt. So at any time, he can have the moment where he's like, well, I'm pulling the trigger. Hey, you my brother. We cool. We friends, but it's my time now. And now you have to have that in the back of your mind. Like, you can cross me at any time and I not know when you're going to do it.
At all. Like, at all.
Like, you can say we boys. We can hit the road together. We on these planes together. We going to the bars together. But I had to have my head on the swivel because I don't even know what you're going to do. I know you want to be champion. I know you're salivating at the mouth, wanting to capture the World Heavyweight Championship. Not undisputed, because we already know Cody has his sights set on that. We know this is where you want to go. You're not going after a mid card. You're not going U.S. Intercontinental. You already held the U.S. title. You want the big daddy of them all, the World Heavyweight title. That's what you want. So if
which in essence, though, the question is this: LA Knight is on Raw and SmackDown, but he's on Raw this past week. Is LA Knight going after Seth after the Miz feud as well? Like, are we at the point now to where we are about to be in that Attitude Era stretch where we got 5 or 6 contenders for one title and it just interchanges? Because we know LA has no mentions whatsoever of Roman.
Right.
He hasn't mentioned the title yet, but we know Stone Cold said it best. If you're in this industry and you don't want to be world champ, you have no business in this industry.
Right.
Where are we going with, like, we got Priest, we got Finn. I'm gonna go ahead and preliminarily throw LA Knight's name in there. You got Shinsuke, who just
turned heel for some reason.
Well, I see it.
I apologize for the pause. I hated the turn. The camera angle was terrible. That was like when Daniel Bryan turned on Kenny Omega and the camera was in the wrong position. You have 3 other superstars on the top rope and Shinsuke is sitting there waiting for Seth to come down. Like, that's a production error I don't expect WWE to make.
Right. So will we have preferred a heel turn for Shinsuke a while back, or is it kind
Absolutely?
of
Yeah. Because it feels like right now that they're trying to say Seth is done with Finn, Shinsuke is next. It doesn't segue, like the segment just doesn't go into that. It just seemed like it was he's just
a
next.
jump? Yeah, like
A jump.
Because
Shinsuke deserves better.
Who else out of that do you have that's a contender right now?
You know
who else out of that do you have? Now take Shinsuke out. We only got Finn, technically Damian.
Yeah.
I got Roman next feud right here. Y'all ain't heard the chatterings?
No, we're not talking about
No, we're not talking about
Roman.
We're talking about
My bad.
Yeah, you're slim pickings. So we look at how LA Knight he's facing. Man, don't get me wrong. Love seeing him on SmackDown.
Seeing him on SmackDown, but he's not going after Roman. I don't want to see him go after Roman. I don't want that match.
Well, I don't even want to see him going after dang on Hit Row. Put him on a meaningful segment. I get and like I know we discussed it earlier, and I get why. But to me, that segment with The Miz, that segue into putting him over with The Miz, with The Miz, you have one of your best on the mic talents on Raw. You got a 3-hour show versus a 2-hour show. Why not put Mr. Megastar and Mr. Megastar on the same show and you get fireworks?
Understand something? I have been waiting for that promo battle since LA came back to WWE. I've been waiting. This is my feud. What's up, Black?
Can we say that The Miz is a gatekeeper?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, most definitely.
Brock, there are two gatekeepers. Superstardom requires you to get past Brock Lesnar. That's why Roman is who he is. That's why Cody is about to be who he's about to be. But in order for you to show that you're ready to be on the main roster, that you're a 5-tool player, not just a pitch hitter, not just a second string running back, but to show that you're a starter, you gotta get past Miz.
Get past Miz.
You gotta battle him on the stick, and you gotta beat him in a feud. You have to. If you lose to Miz in the feud, you might as well go ahead and get ready.
Done.
If you're ready to come down to Mount Everest, you run out of oxygen if you can't get past Miz.
You're done.
And that's the thing. And I think he takes pride in that.
It's a beautiful thing. That's the whole thing I was thinking about. It's a beautiful thing because, like we said before, he came from MTV. The Real World, Road Rules, all that stuff, and Vince McMahon made him famous. My uncle said that one time, and I never forgot it. And it was just like, does anyone else have a story like that that's for real?
No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like back in the day, they used to, the occupational era. You know what I'm saying? The trash man, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? My favorite is Jeff Jarrett, the country music singer. That this
JEFFR
right?
But Ron, that was pre-slap nuts, dog.
No, I was just shouting out slap nuts because we
said Black, give it to me one more time.
JEFF JARRET.
Ain't I great? But it was all not real. The Miz's was real. He was on MTV. Not even the Miz's
WWE. Okay. Outside of the A-lister, what is the Miz's character? He's just the Miz.
He's just the Miz.
Mike.
He was Mike the Miz.
8 months.
But when you look at them old episodes when he was doing, his Real World Road Rule stuff, he was always saying
he was promoting Miz.
He was promoting Miz.
But and he knew himself. He knew his personality, and you can see it like, and that's what. That brings me even closer to Mike is that you feel his promos, like you feel the sympathy for him and the empathy. Oh yeah, look when he did it for John Cena and Roman Reigns.
Oh no, not even go there. I was gonna go there.
Not even that one. Not even that one. Well, we got to talk about. We got to talk about the Daniel Bryan.
Hey,
talking smack.
Talking smack.
Yeah.
Listen,
gave it to him.
Yeah, that was like, yo.
I was we always knew he was talented, but if there was a moment where the Miz, it's almost like how when Dr. Dre left NWA and dropped the Chronic, and you was like, oh, he's really here.
Yeah, he's here.
That was the Miz's moment where it was like, yes, you've been world champ. Yes, you've been a part of a tag team. We are not talking about the Miz in things. At that point, we were just talking about the Miz. We weren't talking about talking smack. We weren't talking about Daniel Bryan. We were talking about the Miz going off and wanting the respect he is due.
Exactly.
And
that was his moment.
And he got that night. I tell you that.
He got it that night.
In the words
of Denzel, I'm leaving with something.
Look,
and he left with
something. And look, and Bryan Danielson even say it to this day. He makes reference of it in interviews.
He can't stand Miz.
Look, hey, I can't stand him, but hey, respect
was real.
Respect.
They don't like each other, but the respect and the earn of Bryan Danielson's respect is different.
Right.
That's like a Brock Lesnar respect. That's like a wow.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to tell you, it wasn't no bigger fan when the Miz cashed in his Money in the Bank. I remember I was sitting on my futon in 2010.
So when I was sick me being sick now, I had to, of course, go full Laker apparel. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this because I feel since you said that moment, it would be remiss for me not to do this. So I'll be right back.
Well, I'm gonna go back to what I was saying. I remember that moment where I was, 906 Northern Street.
Oh, 906.
Oh, you got the exact location.
Exactly. I remember exactly where I was.
You know the day and the time?
Now, I don't know the date. I can't remember the date.
Oh, okay.
But I was sitting on my futon, sitting right there. The Miz came out. I said, "Oh, this is it." I stood up the whole time when he cashed in. He hit that what do you call it? The stroke, but what do you call it? The skull crusher finale.
The skull crusher,
He hit the skull crusher finale. I said, "This is it. This is it. 1, 2, 3, boom." I called my dad immediately because I knew he wasn't watching. I called my dad. I said, "Pop, the Miz didn't win the world belt." He said, "What? Who?" I said, "The Miz didn't win the world belt." He said, "The Miz." I was like, "Absolutely." There you go.
Understand something. Mr. 211, I'm right there with you. This is the Miz shirt during the cash in. Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you, my brother. That was a moment in time where, once again, like we talked about last week, hitching your cart to a horse and being happy and proud of your guy. The hello, I'm awesome, be Miz was my guy. I love that Miz. So you hit that right on the head with me. I appreciate you even for remembering and bringing up his cash in, because
what a night.
And shout out to Alex Riley, another what if story. Alex Riley was one of those guys, because I remember the vignette he got being in the main event with John Cena and Stone Cold as the special guest ref, and they doing the vignette against the Miz, and it was like, and then he went over Miz clean, and it was like, he can talk, he's got the look, he can go in the ring, and then, you know, apparently the Cena thing happens, which we still to this day don't know. I'd actually like to get Alex Riley on here. Maybe we can finally.
Hey, right, holla at us.
You know what? Hey, Ryan, if you go back and watch this interview, man, you just know when we reach out to you, it's orchestrated and it's purposeful. We want you on here, man, so you can give your side of the story finally.
And let's not even talk about the WrestleMania 27 Hate Me Now.
Oh my God, you can hate me now, but woo!
For me, that is number one.
Number one.
Number one all time.
That's major.
Y'all can have your. We'll talk about it at a different time.
You know what? I'm actually down to have the vignette / event promo. What's the greatest of all time, Joe? We definitely got to do one of those.
Well, you already
going
know.
Into. So you come out of that great, the good World Heavyweight Championship match, the great story that's being told into the triple threat. We talked about it, but once again, congratulations to the EST of WWE. She
ceases to amaze me.
It's amazing to see where she came from, being Binky. Her initial run in NXT was going to be Binky Belair. Binky.
I did not know that. And she would have stank
is that like a toddler's blanket?
Yeah.
No, the passive. You're Binky. We call that the pacifier. That's the Binky.
If she would have got that name, I'd have had.
That was the name she had. That was the name where they were gonna run with her. She
Is that
was
on TV
named
somewhere?
Binky.
Wow.
Her and Lacey Evans were actually in a tag team in like 2017ish, and she was
what,
wearing
Baby
the
Boy?
same. She was wearing the same attire as
A baby.
Lacey Evans. Her
Oh.
name was Binky Blair. Thank you. Yeah, I know, right? Like, come on, dog. Thank you, Lord, for giving us Bianca Belair because
Yeah,
Yo.
because ain't no way.
Her real name's Bianca, right?
what is yeah. So her real name is like Bianca Blair Crawford or something
Yeah.
like that.
Ford. No.
Ford. So wait, Montez's last name is that?
I have
No,
no
it's
idea what his
Crawford.
real name
It
is.
is
Crawford.
Crawford. So she's Mrs. Crawford. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let me pick my damn Miz title back up real quick. And I took my Miz nameplate off to clean my belt. I need to put it back on. I'm gonna sit here and be Miz for a minute. But amazing triple threat match.
Shout out to the women. Shout
Shout out
Yeah.
to the women. Let's clap
clap
that
it up for the
up.
women. The longest
Go ahead,
match.
Ryan.
The
Let 'em know.
longest women's match in SummerSlam history. Three
Sorry, you know
top
what?
women.
No. Let's fix that. Let's fix that. The longest women match in SummerSlam. Her story.
Her
story.
story.
Incredible
story.
match. Started a little slow, a little light, which as is par for the course for a Charlotte match. Charlotte, love her or hate her, best women's wrestler of all time, best in-ring women worker of all time, in my opinion. She knows how to turn up the volume on a match when it's time. Asuka, one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, knows when to turn up the volume when it's time.
Yeah.
And Bianca Belair knows when to turn up the volume when it's time. That was a recipe. We couldn't have got a better soup for that. The ingredients that went into that soup. You remember the Donovan McNabb, Chunky Campbell's commercials? That's how good that soup was that Triple H gave us. I can't wait to find out who produced that match because they did that. You did that to 11? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hopefully you wasn't drunk, you know.
I mean, he might have because the way they turned up.
I was.
Yeah, I mean,
The way they turned
some of them botches was you playing it, didn't
You
you?
Of course,
saw
it's gonna
Bianca
happen.
come out with the can. You know what was in the can.
But on a stage like
Super
that, it's gonna happen. On a stage like that, a botch is gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
And I think they felt very comfortable with each other. I just think in the beginning it was like triple threat, play games, play around here, you flip here, flip there. Let me dodge you, let me dodge. Let me not get the hair messed up. Let me, dip and dodge out the way. And it kind of brought it into it. And I think they both, all three of them had a compelling story with each other. You had that time where Asuka was on Charlotte. You had that time where Charlotte was on Bianca. You had that time where Bianca was on Asuka, and then vice versa. Everybody got their time with each other individually, and everybody got their time with each other in regards to the triple threat. So, like I said, shout out to them for doing the thing, letting off that thing. Okay.
Here's a random question: Which one of us won the predictions war?
You know what? We got to look at that. I'll look at that
because we initially said Asuka was coming out. That
I think we all said Asuka was coming out.
Asuka.
TJ, you said Charlotte, right?
I did say Charlotte.
Yeah.
Well,
we wasn't all wrong.
No, we were all wrong. Nobody said Bianca.
Nobody said Bianca.
But
there was hints of the cash in.
But there was someone who predicted a cash in. Your boy Carlito the Cannon.
I was going to say, I don't know who that is.
Phenomenal cash in. Io Sky deserves it. I'm sorry, Io Sky's earned it. She deserves it too. I don't care if anybody has a problem with it. The beautiful thing about her title win now, it sets up matches for the rest of the year, but it gives us fresh feuds.
Right.
Yeah.
Asuka's got to get her get back. Beautiful match.
Got to.
Bianca's gonna want that get back. Charlotte already has a story with Io because Charlotte lost the NXT women's title to Io when Io pinned Rhea Ripley in NXT. She's got to get her get back. And then, of course, the tease, the potential, what's coming, Damage Control. Bailey is happy and celebrating right now. Dakota Kai came back to celebrate right now, but we all understand Bailey want one of these. That's who Bailey is.
Yeah.
Can I touch on something real quick?
Absolutely.
So I was talking to one of my homies. He was upset that EO cashed in on Bianca specifically.
Okay.
And I don't want to say I had to school him because he probably gonna watch this. I don't want to make him sound like he don't know what he's talking about. But I actually told him something that you had said, Carlito.
School of Hard Knock Life.
That I'm saying it was one of those things where it's just like you got to look at the story. Because the story was Bianca was making this whole fuss this whole time about getting her match back. Oh, Charlotte can get a match, but I can't get my match back. She gets her match back, and what happens?
And she won. Bianca, for the last 2 months, has been clamoring for a rematch that she is rightly deserved.
Right.
She gets it, and what did she do? She wins.
She got that W beside her name.
She got that.
The belt.
Look, and it still counts. She still has a championship run.
But she's a former champion. Now I know Triple H said immediate rematches are no longer a thing, but for her to get cashed in on, she's got to get her get back.
Yeah,
it's got to happen.
It's got to happen.
That,
it's got to be a great match.
It's part of the story.
It's part of the story, but the best story that's being told in that, I appreciate you bringing that up. You know, I appreciate you mentioning that. You know, your boy. I know a little bit. You know, I don't know everything. I know.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, that we all got gems, and I had to use that one.
You know, like I said, the cannon is always loaded. We keep it tucked. I got the fuse. The fuse might not always be lit, but it's always in there. There's always a match ready to be struck. But in terms of Damage Control, possible triple threat match at WrestleMania 40, if Dakota's healthy. Do we give EO a 7-month reign?
I would call that a murderer's row of a reign.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna have to beat everybody to hold it 7 months. EO's got to beat everybody.
Right.
7 months without being on the mic as well. As much.
So do we hold Damage Control together until Royal Rumble?
I think you have to.
And then Bailey wins the Rumble.
Because Bailey has to be that. She's going to be that mic piece if Dakota's not. And the same thing with Asuka. Like I always say, Asuka is going to be a great women's champion. But the downfall is always going to come when you don't have the mic. When you can't talk on the mic. When you can't defend yourself. And respect to her and her language and respect to her as a woman. But when you don't have that, it takes a lot away from your reign.
It does.
You can't jab back and forth with Bianca.
It's not fair. But she can't go back and forth with Binky Blair on the mic. Because Bianca has come.
Don't stop it.
Stop it.
She don't want the Binky smoke, you know. But to be fair, there's also something that we have not touched on this episode yet, but is a major component of this EO Sky run, and that is Kairi Sane being re-signed by WWE.
Yeah.
Yes.
The same Kairi Sane who main evented a pay-per-view against who? Mercedes against Sasha.
Yeah.
When you go out here and you cut your teeth and you get what they got, you come back. So now she comes back in a position where EO Sky and Kairi Sane, hey, we might get a tag team. One of my brothers so eloquently put it earlier before we came on the air. She could split off from Damage Control and start something with Asuka and Kairi Sane. We could get what was the name with Paige? It wasn't the Sky Pirates. What was it?
The Kabuki Warriors?
The Kabuki. We could get a run back of that.
Well, hopefully they have a better name.
Yeah.
Bring Xia Li on with that, you know.
Where is Mrs. 211 at? Because if y'all don't know, this man is addicted to Xia Li. Where is Mrs. 211?
Bro, I ain't seen Xia Li since I think.
Tell I said what's up. I got it. That man loves some Xia Li.
What you got, bud?
So
she said
the producer of that match was none other than TJ Wilson, aka Tyson Kidd.
That man know what he doing, bro.
But his school, the dungeon, everything that he does as far as wrestling, that family is very blessed.
He don't miss. TJ don't miss. He's married to Natalia. and he's producing five. Like,
Hey, look.
forget the Mega Millions. Forget the Mega Millions. My man already won. He's winning that life.
Yes, he is.
Bro, the
You see
family
winning
is
that life
always
though? You seen that episode of Total Divas where he wasn't feeling Natalia that night?
Yeah, I ain't understand that.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't representing TJ's right. I don't want y'all to know my real name like that out there in the internet world.
Gotcha. Look,
But I can't wait to see the
IWC.
landscape. I cannot
The
wait.
landscape of the women's division now has changed completely. Hopefully now we can get a Rhea feud.
With Nia Jax, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm fine with Nia coming in.
I'm fine with that one.
Because I'm not trying to see a Shayna and Rhea. I'm not trying to see.
I don't mind Shayna and Rhea, but I don't want Raquel and Rhea again. I'm good on that.
But you know it's
what's
happen.
happening. Triple H loves Raquel, and I don't know why. No disrespect to Raquel Rodriguez, but I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's not for everybody.
Well, so do you think it needs to be a change of gimmick? Does it need to be a change for her? Like, does she need to get rid of the
so
the
for her? It's weird
or,
because they did the same thing for her. They did for Rhea in NXT. It just didn't go over as well. They did the same monster elevated push, the same War Games win, the same world title win on an NXT episode. It just didn't go over the same, and she's just still not.
So does she need to go heel? Does she need to go heel? Maybe I don't know.
She needs to be a monster, but that's the thing. If she goes monster heel, you can't put her against Rhea because Rhea's a heel. So you run into that. You run into that issue.
I think Rhea is more polished.
Absolutely,
than Raquel.
Absolutely,
yeah, for sure.
And when you see Raquel, it's like she's not believable as a monster. Like she wouldn't be believable as one.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't be. And and then on top of that, in regards to Shayna Baszler, I know she has her eye. Look like she has her eyes set on Becky Lynch.
Which I'm all for because Shayna owes her some get back.
Yeah, like that story is there
3 years ago. The story's not finished.
Yeah, but I don't see Raquel as you're not. To me, you're not a threat.
No,
to Rhea at all.
I would love to see a Bailey versus Rhea. That would.
I'm with a Bailey. Ooh, now because she has damage control, they're not gonna counteract Judgment Day, but they can distract just as well. I'm with that idea.
What they gonna do to Judgment Day? Throw that thing in a circle.
Put it in a circle.
In
a circle.
You can't get rid of them.
Yeah.
Look, you
can't get rid of them. So
you can't. But
I think that gives Bailey that push that she needs to, especially like she hasn't held the title for how many years now?
She had it during COVID.
20.
She had it 20. If I'm not mistaken, she had it going through 21 as well, didn't she?
So she 2 years now?
Because she lost it to Sasha, who lost it to Bianca 2 years ago. So it's been it's really been 2 years for Bailey
already?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Speaking of Bailey, Izzy, super Bailey fan, making her debut.
Yeah. That's dope.
This is a major thing for us as wrestling fans because we have the possibility of getting a story that we have never seen before. We have seen stories where, wrestling guys or girls have known a superstar since they were a kid and got an autograph.
Right.
But Izzy's been there since Bailey's developmental.
Yeah.
All the way into her main roster. And now she can come in and be involved in that will be long-term booking to the umpteenth degree.
At its highest.
And so would you put Bailey against her or either put her as
absolutely, and I make Bailey a mega heel.
Mega heel? Yes.
Mega heel Bailey. Because we have not because it'll be in terms of a fan from our perspective. Izzy is us. Izzy is the fan who was in the crowd supporting their favorite wrestler for years. And now I got a chance to come up and be up here with you, and you don't want to respect me. You don't want nothing to do with me. Oh, I'm about to turn up.
Now, is y'all talking about like if Izzy stepped foot in WWE tomorrow?
No, because she's 16 and she's making the debut now.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying like fantasy booking work.
Oh yeah, fantasy book. I book.
Yeah.
No. I make her a Raw after WrestleMania surprise.
Yeah. Well, what I was getting at,
you start the story backstage. You have her come in backstage to say, Bailey, congratulations on winning the world title last night at WrestleMania in the triple threat match. and Bailey hits her with the "I outgrew you." Like you're not my super fan. I cut up the buddies. I cut off the ponytail. I cut you off.
And
Yeah.
I think you could throw an NXT storyline in there too. You see her uprising in NXT, definitely building herself up, kind
Oh,
of
absolutely. Go
not
same
the
vein as Bailey.
copycat type. Well,
Same,
kind of Mickey Trish.
I'm fine. I'm fine with no. And you know what? I'm fine with the same.
Where did the balloons come from?
Where did the
I was
balloons
gonna
come?
ask.
What was that?
I'm saying, can we do that too?
What was that?
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, I guess it got happy. I don't know.
Listen, that was okay. All right.
Thought one of y'all
Um,
did that.
Hmm.
But it's wild because it's like the amount of footage we have of Izzy and Bailey going back. You know,
Right.
Sasha making her cry at the there's so much there that'll be a bloodline type story, juiciness wise.
Right.
Yeah.
But shout out to women's wrestling and whole in WWE. We're going to talk about AEW's women's wrestling as well. We're going to talk about Impact, but shout out to them for having probably match of the night.
The triple threat.
Yeah.
It has to be. It has to be match of the night because there were so
Yeah.
many different scenarios that could have took place during that match.
That did.
And the fact that we really didn't expect Bianca to really pull it off. And then on top of that, you sold that knee injury. Not only did you sell it, you made us believe that you was truly hurt. Then on top of that, you come in there and you win, and then EO just out of note, man, like it was storybook telling at its finest.
Well, I still have it in high regards as match of the night, but it's close between Logan and Ricochet, and then also adding into the triple threat because that match is very high, and in my regards is very high. I would want to put Cody and Brock up there as probably top matches of the night, but I don't.
So we talked about all our highs. Now we have to talk about our second lowest low. Tribal Combat did not
hit.
This is the worst match in the Bloodline story.
Hold on. Yeah. Before you go any further, there was a lot of this.
If he, it was.
Why was there so many chairs?
Why?
I mean, I'm pretty sure people in Montgomery might want to know why there was so many chairs down there too.
Why couldn't they facilitate the chairs down there?
How did a chair just mysteriously appear on the dock?
On the dock.
So,
did Aquaman bring it in? Because y'all know we got to talk about it real quick. We got to have a discussion. Understand something. We tired. We tired. And that was a moment. That was our January 4th insurgents moment where it was the hat toss.
January 6th.
I'm sorry, January 6th. Yeah. My apologies. And now, especially with the fact that there are warrants and stuff coming for everyone involved and not just one side of the party.
Yeah.
It's got to be accountability.
It's got to be accountability.
Yeah.
The fact that the recordings show exactly what we already know, what we've already seen, what we know happens daily. But this time, in the words of Owen Hart, well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And we got that was a fire theme song too. That was one hit. That was a fire theme song.
Which one? When into the nation theme?
No, not when it transferred into the nation theme, but when it transferred into.
Oh no, y'all alone on that one. When it changed into the nation theme, that was me.
That was you.
Yeah, that was me.
I didn't like him in the nation. It was the same thing as Sammy in the Bloodline to me, which was cool, but I just didn't like it.
Yes, you're right. They coined him as the Black Heart, which I thought was
Black Heart.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the fact that WWE is everywhere. Chair shots are plenty.
Hey, the Dudley boys came out, the Hardys, Edge, and Christian, all the boys was out there.
The only thing missing was a ladder, bro. The throwing of the cats in the water, yo, and when Shorty kicked the old girl in the water, like there's certain levels of I'm gonna get you, sucker. That was an I'm gonna get you, sucker moment.
I think Booker T was out there too. I think he was out there.
Listen, Shucky Ducky quacking.
I saw Spinner Rooney.
But it was the closer to the end when you got the 3 of them run up right here, and then you got like 6 of us run up and square up, and they go to take off. Run. No, don't run now. No, don't run.
So
now.
one of them jumped in the water. He dove in the water because he didn't want. Yeah, he didn't want
the you don't want the schmuck. You didn't want the schmuck on a pancake. Listen, bro, that video is gonna live in infamy for. I'm gonna be telling my grandkids about that day.
Oh, did y'all see the video with the Stone Cold glass break? They had Stone
No.
Cold's theme song, bro. It was hilarious.
Did y'all see the multiple angles of the chair shot?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it was just, and I was just like, keep going, keep
Undertaker type chair shot.
Oh
We
yeah,
got some folding steel chairs at work. I just want to take one and bring it home just in case. Just in case.
Because understand something, we taking chairs everywhere we go now. Matter of fact, I just seen a new video. There was a new chair video today in another state, completely different, unrelated.
The yellow
to
one,
what
the yellow
chair. The yellow one.
Yeah.
Oh, it was outside the bar on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Boy,
Understand something. If you see us with a chair, you better mind your manners.
Look,
so the kind of swerving back into wrestling. Who, in your opinion, superstar wise, gave in any organization, not just WWE, in any
best
organization,
chair shot?
Gave the best chair shot?
So we talking numero uno chair shot of all time?
Who get a superstar that gives the best? That gave the best chair shot. I got mine.
Okay, so I have 2 answers.
No.
I got mine.
I got 2 answers. My first answer, Shane McMahon. I'm sorry. I used to love when he would dive.
Boom.
I love that. That's not who the best is, but that's my favorite.
Okay.
Because when he would come in with it, and then at the height of the jump, tap.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Best chair shot.
Yeah.
Dang, that's
okay.
Whichever one JBL gave Eddie Guerrero had him leaking.
Who? Well, if we talking about chair shot that has somebody leaking, shout out to Sean Spears, the chairman of AEW on Cody, because that was a chair shot.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go back to ECW. I'm gonna go to ECW. Black, I think are we of the same vein? Is there a steel cage? Is there a steel cage involved?
No.
Not,
but I know who you're talking about.
I'm talking about chair shot heard around the world. Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Balls Mahoney.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he used to swing recklessly.
I think Terry Funk has some real reckless ones.
I think Terry took some of the greatest chair shots.
Yeah.
You know who else, but you know what? And it's not funny, but it is. Honorable mention to Dwayne Johnson chair shots on Mankind. It's not funny, but he was swinging for the fences. No, you know what? No. Dwayne gives the best chair shots. Ask Ken Shamrock.
Exactly.
He used to hit Ken Shamrock in the face.
Stone Cold had a good select few.
When Stone Cold used to go on his barrages,
boy,
he was cracking them.
I mean, he was smacking them.
He was busting them things up like it was cool as like on a Friday night.
On a Friday night, Steve Weisers. But the Trial by Combat was not. Trial by Combat was not as entertaining as the Montgomery Tea Party. I'm gonna just say that.
The sweet tea party, sir.
The sweet tea party.
Yes.
From now on, if you see a boat trying to dock, get out the way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Run.
Look, run.
Either run or have you
and shout out to the fact that it was
random people.
It was random people, but you had men and women both rocking. But no men were hitting women.
No.
The women was coming in.
It was the mixed Royal Rumble out
but
there.
It was the crew.
It was the
crew because the dude. So everybody was thinking it was a security guard, but it was actually a co-captain of that boat.
It said crew on the back of the t-shirt, and I'm just like
the crew that came. Yeah, because he's so beloved by them.
Shout out to his managerial skills, because I've never had a manager that I would throw hands for.
Hey, swear.
So he must be a man. He is a manager's manager. Shout out to my guy.
Yes.
But they would throw hands, chairs. I think
Nation of Domination came and showed out.
Aquaman, understand something as a Navy sailor. Understand
give him a WWE contract.
Yeah, big facts. As a Navy sailor, I don't swim just for the heck of it. I prefer not to be in the water all the time because I already done that. My man, second nature. Like he jumped. Like I've never the only time I'm ever thinking about jumping in water to do something is if there's a drowning or something. My man was like, nah, I got hands will be laid and debts will be paid.
Yeah.
That man swam to deliver justice.
Yeah.
The only water I'm jumping in is the shower.
Big factuals.
And I saw the other angle where
it's some other water. It's some other water I'll jump in, but I can't say that on air.
Bless your heart. Let's get back to the tribal combat. All right.
Yeah,
trial by combat.
Tribal combat. Yes.
Trial by combat.
Trial by combat.
Apparently, Roman's injured. It has not been confirmed yet, but apparently, and that's where the stretch of outside where Roman's sitting on the floor and Jay's doing something and leans in on him and then gives him a break. That was like the confirmation of the injury. So apparently Roman told him that he's hurt. I don't know if that derailed the match.
Well,
but I genuinely.
I think they said that that dive that Jay initially did. I don't know if Roman kind of came back awkwardly, pinched, pulled something. They said that it happened very early in the match. From what was being speculated.
Speculation, of course.
Yeah, speculation. But I mean, that's a big hit.
Yes and no.
Well,
yes and no.
It's a big hit for the company if you want to do something else, but Roman's going off. Period.
So I'm gonna say the only reason I don't think it's a hit is because was anybody expecting Roman to wrestle at Payback?
No, not Payback or Fastlane.
So with Survivor Series is his next. That's by the time. So I think he can still appear. I think you can still continue the story because and the thing that everybody's not realizing, Paul Heyman says we're in the bottom of the third inning. We still have Solo's story to be told.
You know what I'm saying we got 6.5 innings.
We got 6.5 innings left of this, and everybody's like, "Well, do you think it's losing steam?" No. I think we are at that point where. This is the stretch where we get a little breathing room now because it's been non-stop thrill after height, after climax, after this is when you're about to this is that after loving segment where you go get you some juice, sit down and watch a little TV and you wait for round 2. This is that area of the storyline where how do we engage and pull back in and it not seem like we took our foot off the gas?
Man, I don't think they've done so at all.
At all.
They're just.
How do you do it? You
turn
Jimmy.
Exactly. And Roman gonna let them fight amongst themselves.
Roman's gonna let them do it because let's be honest, the seeds have been planted for months.
Yeah.
Seeds have been planted since the beginning.
Since the beginning of this, even if we look at during the Sammy ascent. Who was the first person in the bloodline to rock with Sammy and say, chill, listen, let you not running stuff, bro. You don't get to decide who's with us and who's not. Who was the first person? Jimmy.
Who was the person who had a problem with him being the right-hand man?
Jimmy.
No, Jimmy had problems off top.
Jimmy had problems. Who had to save Jay from getting destroyed in that Hell in a Cell? Jimmy.
Look, 2021, when I can't remember when Jay was gone and he said he wasn't coming. He was Jimmy was in the locker room with Roman.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, "Well, what can you do? Well, can you do what your brother can do?" And then he was like, "Oh, I don't know." Then he said, "So you don't know?" He said, "Nah, I can."
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you ain't your brother.
Nobody believed that he could. So now the question is, why, Jimmy? Why? And if you don't tune in Friday, I don't know what to tell you because I guarantee you the reasoning and the storytelling we are about to get for this next chapter, this next inning, we're about to enter the 4th inning. Understand something, bro. Paul Heyman is not missed with this story. Paul Levesque has not missed with this story.
Roman Reigns.
Carmelo, we love you over here at the Beyond the Bell podcast, but Roman Reigns don't miss neither.
He don't.
That man cooking steak after steak after steak after steak.
Kobe beef.
Man, I'm gonna tell you why. You said why, Jimmy? Why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because you remember way back in the beginning of this when Jay was crying and he was like, "Yeah, they always look at me as Which one is you?
Which one are you?
That's
Jimmy's become that guy now.
that.
Main event Jay. It's the right hand man Jay.
How
It's
can
the
he be the
future
next
tribal
tribal
chief
chief?
Jay.
And
What?
even during that promo when when Paul Heyman and Roman was like, hey Paul, tell him, who was the one that didn't want him to be there, and Paul was like,
So
remember,
did
Jay was saying,
did we ever hear Jimmy say I didn't say none of that?
Nope.
He
He
didn't,
sat there and
bro.
was like, and Jay looked at him like what?
But
also-
continue, Mr. Chairman.
Also remember, Jay said, yeah, you was always the prom king.
Yep.
You was always this, best
Yep.
best that. So now Jimmy is like,
It was
Yeah, I
always
think
me.
yeah, it was I can't let you be world champion because I was always the best.
Understand the layers of this story that's coming, y'all.
And we don't
This
even
is-
know
we
how
don't
this
even
is going to
know.
line up with Solo. Like Solo's ascension,
Solo's
That's the key.
story
Bro.
still has to be told. That's
It is
another
crazy.
3 innings by itself. So
Those are three
Solo's story
layers.
gets us to the end of the year. Then you got the Rumble season. That's where the 7th inning stretch comes. And then
Yeah.
the road to WrestleMania. That's when we get to the bottom of the 9th. Tied
Yeah.
1-1. Game
Yeah.
7 of the World Series.
Because if they
Yeah.
play this right, if they
outs.
look, I don't know how they gonna do it, but if they save this match for 40, Jimmy and Jay, if they save that for 40, I don't even know if you say Jimmy and Jay or Jimmy Jay and Solo. Like what?
What you got 211? What you got, bro?
The bloodline storyline, as told as how we've told it tonight, is the different phases of the MCU.
Yeah, you're right.
Cinematic
It all comes
The
to
Bloodline
big old
cinematic universe.
Avengers movie. You know what I'm saying?
Endgame.
Whatever that's gonna be.
So right now we're in that stretch of like this is Iron Man 2 or Iron Man 3. Like
Right.
this is
Yeah.
I like that. We're not,
They
so we're
get
about
Endgame
to
is
enter-
40.
we're about to
This and
enter
that.
phase
Like
3.
at the end of Captain America, where Nick Fury he calls Captain Marvel. And you
Yeah.
just put a little Bieber joint.
Yep.
That's this. You know
Man,
what I'm
it's
saying?
crazy.
So
Endgame is 40.
Is 40.
Endgame is definitely 40.
Because if we be
That's
honest-
going to be close.
Because if we're being honest, Marvel ran 20 years. Right about the Bloodline from beginning of debut has lasted about 10 years. Wow.
In
TJ.
wrestling years.
Salute, bro. That's
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That's a good one, bro. That's
Yeah.
a great one.
It comes to
I
an end.
definitely appreciate that.
Like I said, the slowest in, and I don't think, like we said all the time, I think we've appreciated, but everybody has not appreciated this run that Roman has given, this run that Jimmy, Jay, Paul, Solo. Everybody thought, oh man, they're taking so long to put Solo on SmackDown and put him in a bloodline. His ascension on NXT did his thing, added him at the perfect time. And I think we all have enjoyed this thing we call cinema, this thing that we call the greatest story in wrestling, in my opinion. And
I'll second that. I'll second
it's
that.
definitely fire. Definitely hit every week. It's got you clamoring for more. Like you sit here week after week, like, oh my God,
There's
what's
times
going
where I
happen?
don't care about watching the whole program as long as I can see what happens with the Bloodline. I'm good.
Yeah,
Dude.
yeah. I was at that point. I just watched it. When I started
too.
coming back into WWE. I was watching the highlights of the Bloodline.
Listen, if it's, I'm telling you, when we went to SummerSlam last year and we had Blackout in Bloodline gear, that's how invested
you know
in
how hard it was for this man to actually come back to WWE. Like it took a lot.
Yeah, it was tight.
But
was
he
tight,
came back
right?
because of
I
the
believe
bloodline.
But the Bloodline, we here now though.
Yeah,
The one.
So SmackDown overall, I said SmackDown. I'm sorry, SummerSlam overall. I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it like a 7.7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5.
Okay.
I give it an 8 out of 10.
See, 8 is high for me because 8 is a B. So you give SummerSlam a B with the lows, with the level of lows that we had.
I don't really rate the lows as a low that would require it being like a below a B, just due to the fact of
Okay.
the major
The
to me
story
the
in the
major
trial by
low.
combat was cool, and then the women, the Ronda and Shayna match was low. That's low enough.
That was low enough to give it a
Okay.
ding, and
Okay.
then the trial by combat is just I think to me my
So
biggest
basically,
complaint
out of 10, those two things drop it down to your 8, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm not. I have no issue with that. I have no issue with that voting.
Because
Yeah,
granted, we didn't have no filler. We had a lot of wrestling.
no filler. There was just good. There was matches. Everything had a story. That was
Right.
This is the first SummerSlam we've had in a while where everything had a story. Highest grossing SummerSlam of all time. Highest grossing, highest gate in WWE history outside of a WrestleMania. That right there tells all of it right there.
Highest sponsorship within an event,
non-WrestleMania. That's, I mean, in and of itself, that's where we are. It's beautiful to see because that just lets you know where the industry is. We haven't even talked about AEW yet, which we got to because we got All In approaching. Dynamite was.
Hold on before you get there.
What's good?
Can we say that every person that we talked about tonight so far, it seemed like they're all part of a group in WWE. It's like they all got solo albums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're slaughter. They're like Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Everybody got this shit and hold on their own. But when they come together, it's like, damn,
like everybody got a storyline within the storyline, which makes it a big storyline because y'all all in a group.
And how do you manage to keep up with everything between Bloodline, Judgment Day, Damage Control? You got Liv and Raquel.
You got Wesley still doing his thing down there. You got Carmelo Hayes' eventual come up. Real quick, I want to have this conversation about Mr. SummerSlam because I'm looking at the records, and this is why I said I feel like we're looking at it through tunnel vision. Brock Lesnar being Mr. SummerSlam, 02 versus The Rock, 03 versus Angle, 2012 versus Triple H, 2013 versus Punk, 14 Cena, 15 Taker, 16 Orton, 17 versus Reigns, Joe, and Braun Strowman, 18 versus Reigns, 19 versus Rollins, 22 versus Reigns, and 23 versus Cody. That is a who's who of matches / main events at SummerSlam.
You could ask for better. Who could?
Roman's beat him twice at SummerSlam for world titles.
Yep.
Does that matter in the scheme of Mr. SummerSlam? Is that not okay? So Brock is still Mr. SummerSlam.
None of those have heard it.
Bro, look at the lineup.
Okay, well, question. Can anything hurt Brock Lesnar?
No.
Not at this point in his career. No, he's
other than the Goldberg match, has anything ever hurt Brock Lesnar? And that didn't even hurt him. That was more fans being upset they were leaving.
That was
has anything
right when people
ever
started to get inside?
Have we witnessed the first bulletproof superstar?
Well, we can say this when they were overly pushing Brock, where fans were like, "Oh man, we getting this again," like the Money in the Bank joint.
So, to be fair,
he did have that moment. There was that moment at one point
when he was dancing.
Because we got Brock Party, we got personality Brock out of that. That was the first time we really got, and then we got Farmer Brock right after that. But even with that, we've had a vocal majority of fans do that a lot. Oh, they're over pushing Roman.
Yeah, but as far as the masses, like really truly like, oh my God.
So let's ask this question. Let's ask this question. For someone who beats the streak, what are you supposed to do?
Oh, you're definitely going to shoot him to the moon. Definitely. You have it no other way because if
anybody else would have done that, they would have got the same trajectory as Brock. But I'm afraid that no one other than Brock could have handled that. A young guy. They wanted a lot of.
So you mean like you're talking about like a younger guy? Like you're not talking about vets.
No, I'm talking about, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Even with vets, we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at a couple names who they were saying because it could have been Kurt Angle. Kurt left because of what he was going through. It could have been Edge. No, because he was already so polarizing. John was already getting those boos to where.
Well, I'm just saying as far as handling it,
we got to remember what happened the night after Roman won. What? And then the boos that came after that, they weren't even booing Roman because they were tired of Roman no more. They were just booing because he beat Taker at Mania. When Brock beat Taker at Mania, the level, once again, that stunned, deafening silence. Brock didn't get that massive heat going forward after that because it was like, it's Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
It's Brock. Like, it's Brock Lesnar.
So do you not feel that John Cena had that same magnitude to where he could have hold that?
Realism. No, we have never had anybody bring, and they love to say, nobody's been able to bring the level of legitimacy to wrestling, to professional wrestling. We got to think about it. Vince let Brock cut Randy open on purpose at the end of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
He fined Batista for bleeding in a cage match, but he let Brock bust Randy open hard way on purpose. Who else can throw a belt at Vince McMahon after a WrestleMania and still have a contract?
Nobody.
That system.
Vince wanted to fire Titus for touching his arm, trying to let.
Exactly.
In terms of superstardom, I give you Cena's name, but if we're looking outside of name and we're talking about who that person is, after what happened, Brock did that shit and still went back to the UFC.
Yep.
On purpose.
Brock did that shit and wasn't showing up and was chanting for over 500 days and people didn't like it, but what you gonna do about it? You gonna stop watching? No, because you can't wait for Brock to come back and lose. Like,
and like I said, and I get that, but my main
Cena
thing
couldn't
is,
have done it and still been a face.
Who?
It's Taker.
I mean, but look, I mean, that's like saying, okay, you could have done Shawn and Taker. They both were faces at that time. So in the case of John being a face, John could have definitely still been a face after that. I mean, I felt like they had the Undertaker and John match way too late by the end. But
was Shawn ever getting booed during those stretches the way Cena did? No. I mean, I listen. Hey, listen. It's all subjective. I'll agree to disagree with you.
Okay.
Cena's not. Cena is the guy. He's one of those guys. But in terms of carrying the mantle of the guy beating the streak and carrying that weight, we've already seen Cena not being able to take that, expound upon that, and put somebody else over after that because of the Nexus. We've seen Cena get the opportunity to be the one to elevate, bring up, and not do it. Not saying he wouldn't have, but if he beats the streak, John Cena becomes even more immortalized than he is. Even when he starts to lose, it doesn't hold the same weight as beating Brock Lesnar. Like when you beat Brock, like Cody could beat Cena today, and I'm gonna look at it like, damn, Cody beat. Prime example, because we have to look at it in the scope of today. Austin Theory beat Cena at WrestleMania, and what happened? Nobody cared. Nobody likes it. Nobody nothing. But it's John Cena. But look at what we just talked about with Brock Lesnar and Cody.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like I love Cena, and I'm a big supporter of Cena, especially during those years when nobody liked him. Like I was like, but he's the face of the company. They're two different polarizing figures. Cena is that guy that's in WWE. He's that guy. Brock is that guy in the world.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar go back to UFC right now, and they're gonna do almost 1 million buys because they're gonna want to see Brock Lesnar fight somebody. If they said Brock Lesnar was fighting John Jones,
take my money. Take my money.
I'm buying that pay-per-view. I'm not streaming that. I'm not illegally streaming that. I'm going. You know what? I might go to Buffalo Wild Wings for the first time in a long time to go watch that.
We're booking a flight.
We booking a flight? Look.
You say we gonna go get a flight? Yeah,
Look. Brock Lesnar, John Jones. What y'all do? Run it.
Man, run it.
That's the running. But I mean, I definitely respect. I respect that, and like I said, we'll agree to disagree. But I see where you're coming from as far as polarizing across the whole sports realm. Brock was just untouchable. Like I said, this man can fight. This man can entertain. He can do it all.
I love Brock personality. I love personality Brock. The Brock party with the suitcase was dope.
Yeah, that was fun.
Farmer Brock. I mean the dancing. That was. I'm sorry, but that was dope. And Farmer Brock is just that guy. I'm sorry. Like when he came back on Roman, was it SummerSlam 2 years ago when he came
Yeah,
back?
SummerSlam John Cena 2021.
Yeah, like damn. But like I said, I give it a strong 7.6 out of 10. Sharon gives it an 8. What y'all fellas giving SummerSlam, man?
I'm giving it a 7.
You give it a 7, okay?
Yeah, I was on a 7 level.
7, okay.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that this is one of the more lackluster SummerSlams in the last 5 years?
I
No,
gonna say all that
22. I hold 22 in regards higher than.
I think we're biased though. It was a good event, but I think we're biased to 22 because we were there.
and that's why I guess.
Well, even watching it back, I just kind of felt like it
was better.
Yeah, I mean, granted, it had a lot more filler and it wasn't longer, but
okay. So for the last 3 years, this is probably the least SummerSlam that we've had. Last 4 years, 2020. So we'll say COVID to now.
Yeah, because 21 SummerSlam was pretty rad.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And another reason why is because you actually had a nice card, but it kind of fell through a little bit.
It just fell through a little bit.
Like you could have really did something.
Do we need to go back to having a match on the pre-show? Would Ronda and Shayna being on the pre-show save this show?
That would have sufficed.
It would have made
it would have took a little bit extra time off the freaking card that you did not need.
I'm tired of going to bed at 12:30. Like, and people have to realize I go to church on Sundays. Getting off a wrestling event at 12:45, and then
if it's not Mania. If it's not, I mean, even Mania sometimes.
Bro. Mania 5 hours, 7 hours. Like, Raw was cool. The biggest thing coming out of Raw, Chad Gable.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chad Gable. Shout out to Triple H for giving. Thank you. Shout out to Chad Gable getting an Intercontinental title shot. Not gonna beat Gunther. Could be one of those baby faces though that could do it and get a mega push. After the run, if you want to give it to Gable, who is believable, a former Olympian, there's no better choice for someone to beat someone the level of Gunther versus somebody who competed against the best in the world.
The real Gable is going to get over.
Especially after Baby Gable.
Yeah.
American Alpha?
Dog. We're going American Alpha Chad Gable. I need the Chaos Theory rolling German suplex. I need that Chad Gable. I love a thank you. I love a shoosh, but in ring, I need take over Dallas when American Alpha beat the Revival for the NXT tag titles. I need that Chad Gable to show up.
And I think he's going to get a monuments push. I think even if he does not win, they should put him into
thinking like the Ricochet style, like how he's going to get featured more. He's going to get those kind of matches on the card.
Oh yeah, for sure. Plus he can talk on the mic. Plus he can draw you in. He can talk. He can wrestle.
Oh, this is entertaining. And what they're doing with Maxine, great story.
Yeah. Right.
Loving. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I'd be fine with her being world champ in a year or so. With more training, with more training in a year. I give her a year. I don't
know about a year.
I give her a year.
Give her a solid year under an Olympian.
You give her a solid year under Chad Gable and Otis, and in the PC, I give her a year.
Otis wasn't an Olympian.
No, he wasn't an Olympian, but Chad Gable was an Olympian.
Chad
is. He was just an amateur wrestler.
Yeah, no. Otis wasn't. He wasn't an Olympian, but he was an amateur wrestler.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he has. So apparently they wrestle. Like Chad and Otis actually.
Right, they crew. They go back.
They go back when they travel and they stop. They have wrestling matches and not like scripted. They're Olympic style Greco-Roman wrestling.
Yeah, they down like 4 flats on a Cadillac.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'll say, okay, let's say a year from now or something. Yeah, I'm willing to say I'd see SummerSlam next year if her character development continues and we see what we're seeing out of her in the PC. Yeah, that's just me. I think she's just as good as Tiffany Stratton already. Tiffany Stratton just has an amazing moonsault, but I think she's just like a Tiffany Stratton in ring. Miz, LA Knight promo battle. I've been waiting on it for over 2 years now. A thank you, Triple H. A thank you, Mike Mizanin, and a thank you, LA Knight. Miz won. Miz carried, in my opinion. Yeah. And not just because of the slip by LA, but that was one of the more chill, toned down, laid back LA Knight promos we've gotten since he's been back. I think we're going to get rounds of verbal sparring. Like this is, like it's 8 Mile and this is the shelter and we here, damn it. Like, I think we're going to get that type of verbal sparring, and I am here for it. I am all the way here for it.
I will be fine with that, especially. I mean, I don't really see it going to Payback as far as them possibly being on a pay-per-view. It would be dope. But
what day is Payback? September what?
September
I have no idea.
2nd, 3rd, somewhere in the beginning.
Yes, that's less than a month.
Yeah,
you could.
It could happen, but we have to see what happens and how because I mean, like how they do with some of these feuds now is they're raw feuds. They're story TV feuds that don't get that pay-per-view love. Which I mean, let's just see where it goes. Honestly, with Miz and how long it's gonna last, and then where we go to after that. Maybe we see LA at Fastlane getting into something somewhere else. So definitely excited to see LA and Miz really go at it. Very passionate, like you said, very toned down LA Knight. Not all
Can't wait to see him ramped up now. Can't wait because we've seen Miz started the ramp up. He's already coming in hot. When LA starts boiling and he boils over, that's gonna be must see TV.
And Thursday night NBC, baby.
And I feel like his in ring is they're gonna have one of those old school throwback matches. They might not even leave the ring. It's gonna be holds and rest holds and hip tosses. Miz might get a little top rope action. Miz
he might get a double axe handle top rope, but I know LA Knight's gonna get that Shelton Benjamin spot, and Miz is gonna take it.
Yeah, because Friday before SummerSlam, he.
So you know what? I think that was a purposeful spot. I think that because the way it happened, nobody got hurt, but the way he landed outside and then I think that was I don't think he was supposed to pull it off on SmackDown because he pulled it off so clean on SummerSlam.
I don't know. It just did not look very.
It didn't look good. It didn't look
good. It looked like I messed up bad.
It did not look good.
It didn't look like one of those natural fall out the rings and everybody just started fighting. I was like, somebody please make that up.
The Street Profits.
The Prophets of Excellence.
I'm with it.
Lashley, thank you. We don't even know if this is a heel turn.
It don't matter.
We're just invested. Did you hear the fans?
They
chanting for them and then chanting for Bobby Lashley has been a face going on a year and has not gotten cheered like that. They have not chanted Bobby's name like that. That is how happy they are.
I think he needed that time away too.
He needed the time away to be missed. He won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and now he's chilling.
But
the Profits have been on
a Mania card.
I don't think
gave that miss.
I don't think Bobby needed that win on Mania this year, just because of how full Mania was. Because I don't know what I would have took off for that Battle Royal.
I mean,
off top of your head, can you think of a match you would have taken off for that card? Because both cards ended up running over 5 hours plus. What would you have taken off for him to get that dub on Mania?
Well, I wouldn't have taken anything off, but if the Bray match would have stayed, I mean, yeah, we would have still had it. We still would have got him. But as far as taking anything off to put him on, no, I wouldn't have done. Well,
like think about it off top of your head. No, I can't. No, and I can't even think. And which night would you have put? And which night would you have put Bray and Bobby on? Because gotta be night
one.
You think a night one?
I think it has to be night one.
If that match falls short, if that match falls short, do you lose the crowd before that main event again? Because Bray, when's the last time Bray had a standout performance?
He really hasn't had one.
No. And I don't want Bobby, and I didn't want Bobby dragged.
It's been a minute.
I didn't want Bobby dragged down by that. The last big mega Bray Wyatt performance was Elimination Chamber when he won the belt.
When he won the belt, yeah. Well, yeah. But it's been a minute. That's
Man, it's been an hour. It's been an hour. It's been an hour.
Carrying Cross hourglass is already
Yeah, look, we already got past the talk. It ain't even the tick or the talk no more. It's just done. So
I feel that.
And the good thing about it is it made you, but look at what we're talking about right now. We're talking about him not being on the Mania card, so it gave us something to talk about to add on to him doing what he's doing now.
Which it gave him that time to be missed.
Giving Bobby this cool ass aura and swagger that he has about himself right now. He had it as WWE champ with Hurtman, but this time there's no mouthpiece. It's just Bobby being cool.
Bobby's the mouthpiece.
Yeah,
Bobby's the mouthpiece.
Bobby's the executive. He's the man, and I think
wow.
I feel like it ain't even the Street Profits because they don't have the street. They have straight like, hey, I'm
business profits.
Look, you got goddamn you got Montez.
You ready? Montez came in there. You get your hands off me. That's how he looked.
Look, hey, not even just Montez.
Angelo Dawkins got out of the sweats.
Bro, out of the sweats. Got the meat. Got the meat
time. Angelo Dawkins finally getting up out of the sweats, bro.
Because my boy got the lineup on the side. Had got the crisp lineup with the part on the side.
Raw after SummerSlam was cool. NXT was cool. NXT is great. Looking at Wesley possibly getting a world title shot.
That's dope.
Love that.
I like
Carmelo and Wes.
That's gonna be crazy.
They not gonna miss.
So let me just quick question on that before I know we move past that, but how do you like that they're playing him as that crazed challenger that I need it now. I need that.
I need because I need that edge from him because we didn't get it after the MSK split. We just got well, here's Wesley. Okay, well, who's
humble,
Wesley?
deserving champion type. Okay.
But no, now he's had a taste of gold. He's like Ciampa. I've had a taste of gold. I need it back now. Right. And I'm not going. I don't have my belt. I want yours now. I want the top spot because the same way Melo used to call himself the A champ, Wes was the A champ when he was, not saying Melo wasn't a great champ, but Wes made you tuned in to takeovers to watch Wes performances. Because I'm sorry, but that Wes and Dijak match still caliber match of the year type caliber, like that slapper. I love that approach for him. Schism is going crazy. I want to see where they go.
Hey,
they're growing and shout out to Joe Gacy's theme song.
Wait a minute.
Shout out to Joe Gacy.
Enjoying the Schism?
Yes, I
am not.
I am. I mean, I've enjoyed Joe Gacy since he's been there. I hate that the grizzled young vets are not them anymore, but at least they're being showcased. I know they asked for their release, and Jagger already said in October we're leaving. But they're being showcased weekly now, even if it's just segments. They're being showcased, so I'm enjoying it. Simone,
she's there.
She's got a lot to work on,
but that's why NXT is what it is.
Exactly, and she has the people that's there around her to really captivate her performances and really build her up. And
Nathan Frazier's goated. But at the end of the day, we watch NXT and we talking about Dom. We talking about dirty Dom. We talking about dirty drawing Dom. Man that.
Hold on, you know who you forgot about?
What I forgot about?
Braun Breaker, man. Y'all, we haven't talked about Braun Breaker.
Artificial beard.
I mean,
like, where do we feel like Braun's going? Like, is Braun just kind of he's stagnant?
He's gonna be a post SummerSlam call up, I think. So that's why I'm just kind of like.
You know what I'm saying? He's also with Von Wagner.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I'm not talking about it because it's Von Wagner.
I mean, I know
who said Von Wagner was going to be on next.
He had surgery as a baby and whatnot.
It's Braun Breaker versus Von Wagner.
Look,
okay, you happy? We talked about it. You happy now?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? NXT is great. Dom is giving these guys ratings like we have not seen since April of what, Sharon?
2000.
2021.
2 years of fledging ratings, and Dirty Dom has been giving them ratings that they have not seen in years. Dirty Dom is a draw.
Draw.
Was it Rey Mysterio?
Judgment. You said what?
I said, or was it Rey Mysterio? It wasn't Rey Mysterio.
Nah, it wasn't Ray. It was Dom. We tuned in to watch Dom because Dom is Dom. You know what? And I'm not saying he's your guy, but Dom as North American champion is going to have the same reign that your guy got. People are just going to tune in just to watch and see if he loses the belt because they don't want him to have the belt. That's how over as a heel he is. Yeah. Same as JBL. We hated JBL. We hated JBL.
I didn't.
We hated JBL. 3 of us. You love the guy, and we watched pay-per-views to see, is this dude ever gonna lose this belt? Because
I started to cry when he lost.
I ain't gonna lie. It felt like JBL was champ for almost 2 years. Like
but it was only 10 months.
It was 10 months. That's a heel for you.
Exactly.
That's a heel.
It was beautiful, and I enjoyed every second of it.
And that's how Dom feels as champ right now. If Dom can hold that belt to Survivor Series, I'll be happy. Keep the ratings. I look at you. I see you pointing at it. Keep the ratings going. Let's have 2 and 3 million fans watch Wrestling Weekly, because let's understand something. I'm ready to see what these Dynamite numbers was, because Dynamite was actually, is Dynamite feeling the pressure from Collision being as good as it is now?
Yep.
Okay. I was gonna disagree. I don't think so.
Because I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, and I don't care if you agree with me. Dancing Daniel Garcia. Dancing Daniel Garcia is that guy. I don't care what anybody says. He is cold, great in ring, and I'm sorry, but when you look at him and you mad at him and he hits you with the, I can fight you, but I'm a real quick.
I'm gonna dance on you.
I'm gonna dance on you. So I'm gonna stun on you. And he hits the dance at the most inappropriate times. Like the Jericho Appreciation Society, he said, "I don't appreciate you." Yeah. And then walk like, come on.
Yeah, he did that one.
He is what a cocky Alex Wright should have been.
Yeah.
Y'all remember?
Yeah.
Y'all remember the Alex Wright dance, but he would only really hit it in the beginning. And no, I'm sorry. Daniel Garcia studied that and was like, nah, I got to be obnoxious with it. And he is. Jericho Appreciation Society is over. We don't know what Sammy Guevara is going to do, but guess what? Some people just don't care.
What Sis said? Sis said they weren't singing Judas like they used to, man.
They was not singing Judas like they used to, but that's also what happens when you try and book a gigantic arena in Ohio and you aren't WWE. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. That arena was too big for Dynamite. Unfortunately, that's just the realness of it. Jericho at this point, I don't know what's left for him.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
Just go do the dark side of the ring stuff. He's good at it.
Do dark and go to commentary, because he's a good commentator.
Do your cruise.
Go ahead and kick Excalibur off and have him there, and I'll be fine with it.
MJF, Adam Cole.
No. Before we go to the best story in AEW, the Young Bucks versus the Hardy Boys in 2023 is wild.
It's not it.
Like,
it's
what?
Not it. That's not it, bro. Like, look, their best match was
the ladder match before they came back
in Ring of Honor. That one and the one when the Hardys took the belts off of them.
Yep.
Those are the 2 best ones. After that,
why are we having this match in 2020?
Why?
But the biggest thing about this is Matt Hardy is moving like a couple of the
Tanahashi.
No, not even Tanahashi. Matt Hardy was moving
like the Little Rascals in a big trench coat. It's like
Matt Hardy was. Oh my gosh! Shut up, TJ. When they went to go get the loan.
Yeah.
No, Matt Hardy is moving like some of these cats that was out at the Montgomery Tea Party.
Oh Lord.
Because nice to see Jeff still mobile, but Matt. Oh, and shout out to Isaiah Cassidy hitting the Jeff Hardy dance and then getting on the floor and hitting the.
Oh, he killed me on that one.
He is a character, and I love it.
He took me out.
The moan started it for him, but killed the dance, and then like it was wild. But then when he got on the ground and started hitting the Hardy dance, I was I'm done with it. I'm done with it, bro. I'm done with that guy.
I'm done with it.
Entertainment at its fine. That's the one thing I'm gonna say about AEW that is starting to become apparent with Tony taking a step back and allowing some of these characters to actually develop and show their character versus, oh, it's just professional wrestling. It's just... A lot of these people are starting to shine. That's why the Acclaimed got the titles.
Cause man, came along.
The Acclaimed.
Okay. Wait. Because the Young Bucks are so mad at CM Punk. Instead of doing the 6-man tag match, they'd rather finally put FTR over Clean for titles at a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
What? They're so mad they finally got over the FTR beef. That's how much they don't like. That is wild to me, dog.
He said, "Hey, Bo, I don't like your boy, so
you know what? We'll rock with y'all. We don't like y'all.
Hey,
we'll let y'all. We'll do business with y'all.
Look,
hey, you want to trade candy now? Look, hey, we're good.
We're good.
We're back on the playground, dog. Like God, dog.
That's wild to me. I can't believe that that's actually what's happening this year. Like we're actually gonna get that match.
And then we get
y'all know that 6-man. My boy Shane said it. Y'all know that 6-man tag match was the match to make for Wembley.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
The elite versus CMFTR was that should have been. But hey, whatever. We're getting Bucks. We're getting FTR 3.
Yeah,
hopefully. The crazy thing is I don't know who's coming out of there with the belts.
Who
for the tag titles, because FTR's had them for a little while. They had them for a little while last time. Buck snatched them from them.
FTR.
You think FTR is coming out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bald FTR and his friend.
That's what I hope. You said what?
I said bald FTR and his friend.
And Cash Wheeler and.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call him bald FTR and his friend.
Just man.
He don't know their names, Black. So that's just.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
What is he doing?
Oh man. Is Cash Wheeler and Dax.
Bald FTR and Genetic.
Dax Harwood.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Pause.
You know what's funny about FTR? You know what I found funny about FTR? The least marketable one is the prettier one.
Wait a minute, bro. Like, how are you?
Pause, bro. Just pause.
Not even pause. My man said, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one with hair.
No, but he said the prettier one.
I said what I said, and I'm staying back. He's better looking than the other one.
Okay.
It's all right, brother.
Look, y'all got stuff over here falling. TJ, you got stuff falling over here, bro. You making me you getting me discombobulated, bro. Look, it was like Ron. It was like the ring light at the photo shoot.
Oh man.
Oh Lord.
Shout out to what is his name? It's not Jungle Jack.
No, it's just Jack Perry.
Shout out to Jack Perry in the baggy Jerry Lynn pants.
Man, dude.
But before we get into their match, shout out to Taz because Jack Perry showed him the FTW belt. Yeah, I see it, you dumbass. Like, man, Taz was hot, and I loved it. He was mad because you can tell they're feeding into the story that now he's actually tired of Jack Perry having that belt. The music is still a miss. I understand they're trying to make it obnoxious, but the music is a miss. Y'all need to throw some drum. Y'all need to throw something on there. Y'all got to do something to finish it. The match, RVD, that's probably the last time we're going to see RVD wrestle for a while because he took a lot of bumps. He broke out the Just for Men subscription because I didn't see no grades.
Than it was the other day.
Dog, he hit him with that cocoa bean back there. Yeah.
Well, you know he was high during the match.
Okay.
Oh, of course. You know that. Of course.
Hey, but when he gave him that,
watching.
He gave him the leg drop on the barrier. Major. He hit him with the 3.5 star tadpole splash because there was no height on that whatsoever. You no longer have a 5-star frog. You no longer have a 5-star frog splash, my guy. But it's cool because we love you. We respect your contributions to the business. You're a legend. You're an ECW legend. You're a WWE legend. You're an independent legend. You are one of the greatest high flyers of any generation. But that 3.5 star tadpole splash need to go ahead and let that ride off into the sunset, my guy.
That man got the
Man, that's
sun's
cold.
gravity. That man
Dog. It was like
Hey,
he
look.
was Vegeta. It was like he was
Hey.
Vegeta on Planet Namek trying to fight in 10,000 G gravity. Like it
Look.
just wasn't working.
That rolling rumble he had. Look.
Dog. It wasn't Rolling Thunder.
It wasn't no thunder. It was just a rumble.
Nah, that was Dr. Thunder soda from Food Lion. That's what that was.
The man carburetor went out.
Mr. P.
It was because I was gonna say Rolling Lightning, but you can get struck by lightning. I don't know what he did.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting struck, Jeff got to stop landing on people with that swanton. He landed on your boy. That was terrible.
Look, he been doing that for about 6-7 years.
now.
And people say it, they're like, "What's one of the worst finishes to take?" Jeff Hardy swanton.
Exactly.
Joker Penta. Love the costume. The BCC is still great. They still got some good momentum, but why was Moxley already bleeding last night? Like, I know it's a running gag. I know but where'd the blood come from last night?
He was already bleeding because it was Wednesday.
We'll take that. You know what? Bleeding because it's Wednesday might be the new name of this episode, bro.
Bleeding because it was Wednesday.
Like, how did you
Blaze just fall out the sky and just
because don't get me wrong. The parking lot brawl last week was wild. There was a lot of I think it was better than the Best Friends versus Pride and Power. I think it was a little better. Orange Cassidy coming in was cool. The van bringing old boy mom back. That's cool. Yeah. BCC versus Lucha Brothers. It looked like Phoenix got hurt.
Talk about at the end.
At the end,
when he did
it looks like he was hurt. I hope he's not hurt.
I haven't seen any reports. I haven't seen any reports today if he was hurt or not.
You haven't seen any?
No, I haven't seen anything pop up on the timeline. But the way he bent that thing back,
that knee looked like it hurt, dog.
Oh Lord! The end of that match was kind of sloppy. It was a little sloppy at the end.
No, it was. No, it definitely was. It definitely was. And I could tell somebody was going to get hurt. I didn't know if it was going to be Yuta when he got pulled off the apron. It looked like his knee hyperextended.
Mm-hmm. Or like he always about to get hurt.
Yes, yeah. He's the odd man out when they do promos as well, which is crazy because, they always say Cesaro can't talk, but Yuta's always the odd man out when they do promos. Yeah. Kind of, yeah. Ready for Daniel Bryan to come back again already, but we know he's not. So with them being a 3-man crew and Takeshita not having nothing to do with him no more, and Pac, packing. Nah, he's done. Yeah. Maybe have them go after the trios titles eventually.
Yeah,
that them and House of Black could be entertaining. Yeah. I'm interested to see who's going to bleed more between Brody Lee and rest in peace. Between Brody King and Moxley. Like, I want to know who's going to bleed worse. That's going to be entertaining.
Moxley.
You know what I'm saying?
Brody paints his face pretty good.
Yeah.
Brody face.
Yeah. No, you're right. Okay, because Ryan brought it up. I'm gonna let you talk about it because if I start talking about it, I'm gonna get emotional. Shout out to the best program stories segments in AEW currently. Better Than You, baby. MJF, Adam Cole. I have not been this entertained by something in AEW since its inception.
What you gotta say, Black? Have you been entertained?
I don't know. I did like the MJF Chris Jericho.
Okay, that was okay. Yeah, the singing and all that was okay before the Pinnacle got created.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I think for me,
but it's MJF though. He's still involved.
Yes.
Yeah, but in its entirety, I think. Yeah, for me, in its entirety, I think the storyline between them two had just
dodgeball scene.
Hey, the gym joint had me rolling.
Yeah,
that gym joint had. Hey, you see that guy over there? Like, bro.
Yeah,
it was like, bro. And look, and then I was like, ain't no way Adam Cole lifting that much weight.
Nah, dog. The bringing up, calling the Midwest Mid, and then God strike me down, and then Adam Cole over there too, like.
Look, he like that.
And he's like, yeah, it's just entertaining. MJF is the face that we did not know we wanted him to be because he's been such a great heel and because he's naturally unlikable.
Yeah.
we realize, and I know amongst us, we already know if we can grow to respect your contributions and everything as a heel, we're gonna love you as a face. And he's over. I don't know if this is that Sting and Luger dynamic though, where MJF is or Adam Cole even. I don't know who's supposed to be the one that's gonna go heel, but we know one of them is acting right now. I'm okay with this being prolonged.
Yeah.
I'm okay with this being prolonged, though. I'm okay with it. But the slapping of the hands and all that, somebody's faking the funk. We don't know who's turning.
I think it's going to come. I think it's going to come. I think it's going to come to head at All In.
Yeah. Roddy.
I think it. Well, now they got.
We're gonna talk about Roddy.
Well, I think they got the Well, they got they're doing the 2 matches now.
Yeah.
They're doing the tag for the Ring of Honor tags, and then they doing,
which is huge.
Yeah, that's
Aussie Open.
So why even have Aussie Open as your champs? Because you can't have MJF and Adam Cole lose that match. They can't lose that match.
They can't.
Yeah, they can. Yes, they can.
Nah, they got to win that. They got to win that match.
My thing is, if you had it, the only way if they lose that, then we got to see a turn that night.
Got to.
Right.
You have to. And I don't want the turn now, but not even just that. You're gonna have them losing back-to-back tag team title matches. Especially after having Cole give you the explanation of what Ring of Honor means to him.
And he's almost held everything except for those titles.
That's like if MJF went back and had a program in MLW and was talking about what all he didn't get to accomplish there. That's the same thing as Cody not getting a chance to finish the story. Like that's what these titles mean to Adam Cole. I don't think you can have him lose them unless, like you said, they lose it and then you get the turn.
I feel as if MJF, to me, is just stellar heel work. He's playing the face so good. He's drawing you in because he can do that. And then he's just showing you like when Adam Cole pushed him, like I can resort back to that just that quick. But then he just pull you right back in. He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna hug you, buddy. I'm just we're all good, bro. Yeah, go get your bro. Go get your man. Go check
Roddy is a wild card. We don't know. The Undisputed Era tease is always gonna be interesting because we all love Undisputed.
Yeah.
If we can see it in AEW, I'm down with it. We don't know where Kyle O'Reilly is.
That's the wild card to me.
So is he still hurt
or you don't know. I have not seen a report on Kyle O'Reilly's injuries yet. Does he come back and attack Adam Cole and then we get attacked? Do we get better than you, baby, against Cole? I mean, against O'Reilly and Strong? Because that was a tag. They were a dope tag team in NXT.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot. There's so many intricate. This is what AEW has been missing for a couple of years now is a story with layers all the way through, not just central to who the two people are involved. They brought outside people in now.
And where does the Kingdom fall into this?
Where does the Kingdom fall in this? Because they're recruiting Roddy.
And they set that up perfectly. Look, just insert it.
Where are we going? Thank you, AEW, for finally getting us to a point of where we're saying, where are we going with this? Right. My pride, and I got goosebumps. My pride in AEW right now comes from the fact that the 4 pillars are finally being established outside of just being the 4 pillars. Black mentioned it while we were just casually talking. Each pillar has a story. Darby has his own unique story of who his character is, but also has a match at All In. Had no idea he was even going to be on the card with Sting in Wembley. Wow, I know that's a dream for him. That's a dream for me just watching it. MJF is MJFing. We can't talk about what all he's doing because he's doing so much.
Yeah.
He is finally and I said it last year. Adam Cole was the one person he could go against that could bring his reign out of being that dog still got the belt. I'm cool with him being world champ right now, but I'm more invested in MJF, period.
Yeah. Right.
Jack Perry, they're still working on getting his character tuned right, but he's a champion. He's getting heat.
Yes.
He's having decent matches. They're using the commentary to get him over.
Mm-hmm.
He has a presence. He has a good look. He looks like a movie star.
Yeah.
They just gotta finish tweaking and fine tuning it. But like I said, Sammy Guevara.
Sammy is.
We don't know what his story holds. It's almost as if for a while Jack was the lone
Wolf.
whatever pillar.
He was.
He was the pillar that right now is Sammy Guevara. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do now? We don't want to see you in another stable. We still really don't like you. Like, you still gonna get booed.
Exactly.
We don't really care about booing you though. Your wife is pregnant, so you're probably about to take a little
Yeah.
time off. Like that's the only issue with me with what they're doing with the pillars. But at the same time, they let him be last, and they let him take the page and fold it down. He didn't close the book. He put a little piece like, okay, well, when we come back to this is where we were. So everyone has an individual story. MJF is MJF, but I feel like Jack Perry has an ascent coming that could have him be the second biggest pillar. Orange Cassidy is also Orange Cassidy.
They
I mean,
doing
he's on
him
a
right.
international.
Doing him right.
Cassidy. You know what I mean?
Orange Cassidy.
He's Orange
From
Cassidy.
the playful guy that nobody really just thought would take serious for a championship, has turned that championship into a competitive market in the field of the mid card. I'm like, Jesus.
Look, hey, can we say this man has had banger
After banger,
After banger.
After banger.
after banger. Okay, it's crazy.
I got to give it to him. He's the champ that gives you a difference of what championship runs mean.
Yeah.
He's their Wes Lee, except Wes had stories inside of his title runs too. But if you see Cassidy and you see that belt, what's happening? It's gonna be a good match.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Man,
Collision this week is in my city. I'm probably not going. Like, I'm just being honest, but it's still their best show. But if we can get dynamites like we got last night, for the first time, I watched the entire 2 hours of Dynamite.
yeah, because it's really rough.
And you listen, and you know me, Black. I might give it an hour. I'm gonna record it and I'm gonna skim through it. I watched it from beginning credits to ending credits. I like the Fatal 4-Way Women's Championship match that's coming. I don't like that Sheeta didn't get a first round bye because she's
because
she got a first round bye. But I like that they gave us a background and explained how they come up with the concept of, okay, this is a Fatal 4-Way because we've done this before.
Yeah.
I think the card, like that, them building into the card now is going pretty good too. Got some pretty exciting matches coming up.
With Saraya in it now, it's like, okay, But what would be so dope is, let's say Saraya does win the belt in Wembley, and Mercedes comes out at the end.
Boy, listen here. That place is, I don't know. Does Wembley have a partial roof?
No.
I
think it's fully retractable.
Well, the air above would just be rattled. Everything just would be, the whole stadium was shaking.
That was set up perfectly on, the history, neck injury,
right?
Getting put out, and Sasha was the last person that they really, that injured her. You know what I mean? Like, that would make sense.
The writing is on the wall, and on
Saraya's winning. Well. So the question is who does Saraya pin though? Does she pin Tony? And that starts. Like, there's layers there too. That's what I'm saying. This is the first time since the inception of AEW where we have layers in stories. Not one story having, so like the Hangman ascent trying to chase the title. When they did that, that was the only story, and it was only about Hangman and who was champ. Right now, we have stories upon stories upon stories upon stories in AEW. This is a good time once again to be a wrestling fan, because now NXT stories, Raw stories, SmackDown stories, Collision separate stories from what's going on Dynamite, and we got stories on Dynamite.
Impact stories.
Impact. That's the story company. That's the company. Can't wait for the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, to get that strap back. Like, I can't wait. It's gonna happen. This was a great week for wrestling. Period. This was a great week for life. You know, we seen some massive chair shots. We seen some great Olympic swimming. We seen some haymakers. We've seen. I mean, my man hit that strong stroke. Pause.
Hey, Michael Phelps.
Michael Evans Phelps.
Oh, wait a minute.
Pause.
Whoa, wait
a minute.
You got to do better.
Look, Black.
To do better.
I am. I'm trying because I said that really. Wow.
Hard.
But pause.
I'm sorry.
I can't say strong stroking and you come behind me and say hard. Pause. Sheesh.
My bad.
Listen, TJ, no, 211. No, we not at 2. You just be
you just be quiet. Look, you about to get muted ASAP.
Just sit there. And with that, I mean, I feel like we're at that point of the show now where we can just kind of let everybody know. Beyond the Bell Podcast, Facebook, TikTok, beyondthebellpodcast.com. We got some votes coming up y'all way. We're gonna call it, those are called our turnbuckle topics. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe. Make sure you comment on the YouTube vid. We want to thank our fans, #RealFans, for the support for week 1, episode 1. It's up. If you haven't listened yet, go back and listen to it so you can listen to this one and you can really see what's going down. Amazing feedback and input from the fans. We appreciate y'all. This is something that's going to be coming to y'all raw, real, unscripted, unfiltered, uncut. You know, we got an editing process, but we're not cutting nothing. You getting what you getting from us.
And also hit that thumbs up button.
Hit that thumbs up button. Add us to your videos. It's okay. It'll be on your playlist. It's all
right. It'll
right.
definitely help our channel. Trust me.
It'll help the channel. Hit that thumbs up. You know, give us a golden up like my man Simon from What Culture. Give us one of those.
But also, you got to make sure you turn on those post notifications so you can receive updates from the Beyond the Bell podcast.
Bam. On IG, y'all see them reels? Y'all see the work that goes into them reels?
Cooking.
We doing what we doing out here for. I mean,
where is he? Mr. Elliott here from the Dallas Cowboys.
The ingredients. 211. Don't do that. Y'all just solidified y'all name a couple of years ago. Like, don't talk about from the who, because people still call y'all the Redskins.
Y'all name about to get changed.
They should. That should be
sorry.
One of the things we can't say.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Shout out to the Washington football team, because that was a stressful time in football. Like, who y'all playing this week? Oh, we got the team. Who? Football team. Which football team?
But that's the end of the show, fans.
Real fans.
You can #real fans. You can find me on Twitter at purely ignorant. I'm sorry, at purely_ignorant, or you can search Carlito Cannon. You can find me on Facebook. Find me on IG at Carlito Cannon. You know, I was purely ignorant for so many years. It's still fresh to me to say Carlito Cannon as a name. Follow me on TikTok as well at Carlito Cannon. Follow the Beyond the Bell podcast page on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Catch us on Spotify. We come into Apple Music. Y'all drop y'all @ and y'all likes, and then we can get up out of here for the people. Let the people know how to get in contact with y'all boys.
Oh, most definitely. Y'all know y'all can already check me out. This is Trick or Treat Night. Sharon, aka Trick or Treat Night. Y'all can check me out on IG. It's at official OVO Sound _11. Facebook is going to be Sharon Latrell Wade Knight. Twitter, same thing, Sharon Latrell Wade Knight. TikTok, Sharon Knight. Hey, simple, simplistic. And if you already know, tap in with your boy.
So you know who this is. It's your boy Blackout Jones, man. Y'all can find me at Instagram at Blackout_Jones. You can also find me on Facebook as Blackout Jones.
Blackout. Understand something? I've known this man for 5 years, and it took me 3 to find out his real name.
Yeah.
My fiance still calls him Black. None of us call him his name. He is Blackout Jones through and through.
Yeah. And on my Twitter, you can find me at Joker Driver 514.
I don't even know that, so I gotta go get that. I saw somebody name that like something. I was like, who is Joker Driver?
Joker Driver. Joker Driver.
Mr. 211. Where you at, baby boy?
You can find me on Instagram at manofsteel_BTB. Please don't find me on Twitter. I ain't even gonna tell you what.
Look, son, you got them. Look, you got the. Hey, man, understand something. Like Beyonce
Please
Dad
don't
found
find me
out.
on Twitter.
Exactly.
Look,
Yeah,
understand like
don't.
Beyonce
Yeah,
Dad
I'm
found
like,
out.
the likes.
Your likes are
even
public,
try.
Watch
sir.
the likes.
But
Okay.
on Facebook, you can find me at TJ Ellis if you
Watch
can.
the shares.
You can watch them watch them likes and them shares. They'll get you, boy. They'll get you every time.
No, I'm not gonna like my watching the shares. That's good. That's what
You're
I
not
said.
gonna like your watching. You should figure out what you wanted to say just now, and
What?
we'll let you say it. Yeah, because
You say you don't like to watch and
Hey,
share.
Look,
share.
hey, that 211 getting.
It's
That
getting-
listen, that
it's
211 getting to you.
It's late.
Well, fellas, it's been real. Hashtag real fans. It's been real. We'll catch y'all next week. Same YouTube time, same StreamYard channel, same wrestling reel, same knowledge. Carolina Wrestling Cartel. And we out.
Episode 3 coming at you next week.
And if you
Bow.
don't know, make sure you got your chairs on you at all times.
Understand. Look, like he said, he ain't got a chair yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
We out.
Carolina Wrestling Cartel, and we out.
We out, baby.
So you better fall in line. We seen enough of your BS. Now it's really our time. Keeping you